What up, chat? How we doing? What up, Luke, Victoria, Trade, Andrew? What up, One? What up, Cisco? I don't know what I feel about these charts right now. Let me get the other screen up. What up, OB? How we doing? How'd you guys do today? What up, Dev? I don't know what I feel about this market. I really don't. I have super managed expectations right now. I'll wait a second until a few people get in here, and then I'll start to dive into charts. What up, Daniel? Currently sitting in an NQ long off 034. Not bad. Nice entry. How's the day been? Good. Today, I didn't trade at all other than just managing NVIDIA. Luckily, I got out before the clapping happened here, right? I got out, I think, like here-ish. I ended up more so break even on the trade. So what I made yesterday, I lost, like it pulled back and I lost like 80% of it, I think. 80% of the profits. So overall, very, very, very small win. But I got out before the clapping, which was good. How you doing? I'm doing wonderful, brother. The clapping is pretty fitting. Dude, I looked at the market because I did a bunch of yard work today instead of trading. And dude, I got smoked. Crazy end of the day. What happened end of the day? I mean, more so crazy midday. The end of the day looks like it just sucks. Yeah, no, this midday sell off, insane. I've seen so many tweets today in every direction. Oh, let me fix the charts for you guys. Then I got to do this because I was watching the stream from yesterday. Forgot to do that, so you couldn't see YM. That's my beat. Winning is winning, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I realized I just had way too high of expectations on it because I truly just wanted 210 or bust. And I realized if I kept holding, it was going to bust. So I got out. Yeah, definitely wild midday. Bro, this market's been the clapping. So I'll start breaking down charts since there's a few more people in here. But the hardest thing is looking at this. What do we do? Because we look at this daily chart. Yeah, if we break, this looks phenomenal. But I'll start on like the 4 hour. So we go to the 4 hour. We have this range that I just marked out. Highs, lows. That is our support and resistance here. We are smack dab in the middle of that going into Friday. Are we just going to chop this session? I'm leaning more so towards that to be fully transparent. If we were near the highs, I'd be more interested. If we were near the lows, I'd be more interested. I'm open to trading this any direction, but we are smack dab in the middle. And it gets even worse the higher the time frame goes. The daily, if we want any logical longs, we would essentially just need all-time highs. We would need back over 71.85s to break on the daily, look for that long, which is 40 points away. So there's room to play in there. I'm just going to have more managed expectations. However, this is where I don't like it. Go to the weekly chart. We talked about it in the beginning of the week. Oh, I would love a consolidation candle. If we close just like this, that chart would look reasonable, right? Really, really strong trend, consolidation. That means we're going to sit right around this area for the next 22 hours straight. That doesn't interest me very much. The weekly could be a really nice 1, 2, 3, but that's a Sunday predicament, maybe a Monday predicament. You know, we have to close like this for it to be that 1, 2, 3, which means could be 22 hours of just slop. Then we go to something like gold. Oh, maybe gold has some interest. Gold, you go to the daily chart. This chart looks atrocious. If we do lose that 47.20s, there's room to 46.20. Obviously, going to be some resist or some support along the way. Probably at like 670s, maybe 650s. But this chart doesn't look great. Weekly's an inside bar. So if that consolidates, we're stuck there too. Then if we go over to the dollar, or not the dollar, oil. Oil looks decent, but then you go to the daily chart and we're at this massive pivot as well. So if it's going to continue higher, we could use a little consolidation candle there and then 3-bar play off of that on the daily. Weekly still an inside bar as well. So we have inside bars across the board, which gives us a lot of potential for next week. I just have such low expectations for today, and it's unfortunate. We'll see if anything can get up, but how are you guys feeling about the market? Do I ever stream at Market Open or do I have my own channel? No, I'm on Jake's stream. So I just watch Jake at Market Open for the most part. Unless I'm trading options, I'm usually not trading New York Open. Like if I only traded futures, I wouldn't have any interest in New York Open. And that's just what I've adapted to. I love the like 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. session because I think it goes a little bit slower and there's a lot cleaner setups, similar to like Asia hours. It's like an in-between of New York and Asia. Yeah, Diego. I mean, I see what you mean by it was the craziest day of the week, but I think that's happened the past 3 days. Because obviously we got this today. On stream last night, we got this as well. The day prior, we got this. So it's every single day this week we're getting one of these moves. This one wasn't as aggressive, but this was a cleaner push lower, slight reversal. Other than that, no. It's just been 3 to 4 days this week. We've gotten really aggressive moves that have just instantly faded. Olnu, I was reading that and I'm like, hang on, he might be onto something here. A generational once in a lifetime opportunity to long soybeans. That's what you're coming at me with? What's soybeans ticker? I'll look it up. I'm not trading it, but I'll look it up. $400 points and was it 400? Yeah. We talked about this last night too. If you were on during the big move. This move during Asia session is essentially this during New York because there's a lot less volatility here. I said yesterday, if this happened during New York, it would likely be over a 100-point move on ES and a couple hundred more on NQ. So it's like essentially the same thing. It just didn't recover as well. But it's just showing the uncertainty of the market that we're currently in, where we're getting these massive moves and then just go right back up like nothing really happened. And all it's doing every time is taking us down to support, holding the support, and then going right back into the range. It's just a very, very volatile range-bound market right now. That's how you hook him. You had a great opener. You really had me locked in the first half. I'm like, this man might be onto something, might be something generational. Nope. Soybeans. Motherfucking soybeans. But how'd you guys do today? I'm sure some of you guys traded. I do have a couple evals to trade. We're not doing degen hours today. The market's not set up for it. But I do have some evals I could trade if I want to from the past 2 days. It's crazy because there was movement, but right now it's setting up perfectly for London to do his job. So New York can go ahead and hit another all-time high tomorrow. Can we hit an all-time high tomorrow? 100%. We could, but these charts look horrible. Obviously, by London, we'll have two more 4-hour candles set. So a lot can change. But if you look at a 5-minute chart and you look at this, you're not going to have a lot of interest, at least from my perspective, until we get over 71.85. We get over 71.85, I'm all for longing the hell out of this chart. We get under 70.80, I'm all for shorting this chart. No problems. While we're within this, though, I just have really managed expectations. Chart calls for patience, 100%. Yeah, today's definitely going to be a lot slower than yesterday, which is saying something, because usually Asia session is already kind of slow. What up, cowboy? Hi, Virginia. Good night. You already leaving? What up, Path? Compared to yesterday, seems the same, a little bit higher. Where were we at yesterday? Yeah. I mean, it's similar. The only thing is we're kind of at the end of day session highs, where yesterday we weren't. We were kind of setting that lower high aspect. Here we are trying to set a higher high if we can break. I'm not opposed to looking for longs. It's just going to be more managed on my end. Even like 57 could be a target, 57 to like 61s. Over that, I'd be looking towards 80s though, easily. So it could be another one of those days where I find an entry and I'm like, all right, it's worth a stab. And it's like, if it works, it works. If not, kind of expected it. Yeah, they kicked that kid off his dirt bike. Yep, that's me. Booted him right off. My boy, we filled a gap tonight. Could. It's not an aggressive gap, so I'm not really worried about it. At some point, we'll probably fill it, whether it's today or tomorrow. Especially with the volatility we get, all it takes is one of these little spikes and we'll come down 20 points, 10 points and fill that. Yeah, it's literally a 10-point gap. I'm not overstressing that thing. At some point, we'll 100% fill it. I'm going to long opening retest, level below. I like it. If it holds, I like it. We're in a similar spot yesterday where RTY is under the open, YM's kind of finding it's open. So those two are a little bit weaker. The indices look identical to oil, and then gold is still just in a world of its own. Poor gold is just getting beat up. What up, Jake? How you doing? Since you don't trade fair value gap and aren't familiar with that, what do these big displacements mean to you? How do you approach them? What do you mean? What do you mean by like the displacement? Like the gap? Because to me on the charts, I just see that we're consolidating. In all honesty, if I'm looking to trade this, the number one thing I'll likely do is look at this. We get outside of that, I'm open to it. While we're inside this 4-point range, not really. Thought I would see me in the AM. I was there in the AM. I wasn't on Mitch's because I was still snoozing. But I was on Jake's stream. Yeah, Diego, that's exactly how to trade Asia. Take the first hourly range, trade outside of it. Makes it real easy. What up, Matthew? What up, Joe? Yeah, I'm interested in trading. The charts just do not look appealing yet, at least. I'd be happy even if we got some random volatility spike like yesterday. Give me something to go off of. If YM does lose the open and these start to push back below their opens, at least ES, it could be a decent opportunity to short. Really reserve target, like a main at like 71.30s, which is 14 points. It's not crazy, but there's potential. We're just in a disgusting range. I think next week will be a lot of opportunities. Yeah, squad is in the house. We're 8 minutes in with 105 viewers. Yeah, I don't know how many subs we have, but if you guys have been enjoying the content, number one way to support is, first off, like the stream. Second of all, feel free to subscribe, turn on the notifications, because who knows? Jay could get bored again this weekend and hop on the weekend. If you don't see his story, you'll never know. If you turn on notifications, you'll always know. Diana, don't worry. You already missed everything. Already caught 3 trades in this price action, so it's basically over already. This whole 4-point range, we just crushed it. Damn, just my luck. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like almost retirement level price action here. Trying a GC short. Gold is weaker. Yeah, I like that. A little lower high here if it triggers. You could look for those lows. If it gets below 703s, I mean, you got room to the intraday lows. 680s. It's not a bad little target. The indices definitely don't look like they're going to be the move today. So I might have to watch gold. Hope for the best. Yeah, Diego, that's the great thing is we're all very similar. And one thing I really love is Christian and Alan have never streamed before, and they're doing, and same with Mitch. All three are doing so well. Like you wouldn't expect it from someone who hasn't streamed, and all of a sudden we're like, all right, go sit in front of a couple hundred people and talk, entertain them, trade. And they're all crushing it. If you could inside trade using Trump's Twitter account, what would you tweet and what would your position be? Easy. Easiest thing in the world. I would immediately full port long oil on everything I can. And then tweet that the US reserves are completely dwindled and we're shutting down the entire strait. Not a single ship is allowed through. Rich, immediately. Oil to 200 overnight. What's oil doing? Hear that's your favorite? It is my favorite, but it's not doing anything. She's stuck. The hourly does look interesting. Like big hourly failed to go lower. The problem is the first hour on oil is usually this volatile. I'm making Iran great again. That's your tweet. But the daily, I would love a little daily consolidation here because we're at this big daily resistance. So I think the upside can be limited unless we break it. But if we break this, the indices are likely going to see a pretty big pullback. If we're back over 100 to 101, I think so. Also, a funny tweet I saw today. Trump randomly tweeted, he goes, oil's doing a lot better than I thought. I thought it'd be at $200 a barrel. It's like, sir, oil was going there, but you talked about the market and everything pushing oil back down. I would tweet US dollars backed by gold once again, long GC and enjoy each part. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the problem is that would likely inflate the value of the dollar. And what you wouldn't think about that is if the dollar's inflating, the stock market's going to go lower. So you would unfortunately crash the entire stock market by that one tweet. What up, Mitch? There's a nice little gap up there on oil near the top. Near the top. Am I missing something? Gap up on oil near the top. Unless You're looking at like the higher time frames? That little gap? I don't know. There's a gap somewhere you're looking at. What up, yeah? Maybe it's the anarchist inside of me. Was open at 2-9 like last night and the shorts play out instantly. Yeah, Mitch, I think we're kind of cooked this session. I do. I think at least for this first hour, we're a little cooked. What up, Grizzly? I mean, we're just smack dab in the middle of the range. The indices don't look that promising. Trading wise, the first hour probably gonna be a little boring. Just a fair warning here. Even gold's not really moving. Everyone's hungover from market hours. Stream wasn't that late last night. Well, as most of the people that are on my stream stayed on for Allen's. So you guys sleep just as much as I do. What up, Nicholas? What up, Steph? What prop firm are you trading with? The two main ones I'm trading with are Lucid and Tradeify. They're by far my favorite prop firms. I also haven't traded, like I've traded with Alpha. I still have an eval with them. I don't trade it aggressively. So I'm still working on that. And then E8, I do have an account with, but I haven't gotten a payout from those two. So I'm still learning that process. It was just so volatile in New York session. It was. But then you look at the end of New York session. If the end of New York session's this range bound, and then we get into Asia and the range is going to continue, you got to remember, most of the time you got to shrink that by at least half, especially towards the end of the day. So when we start looking at this type of range, just because of the overall volume, 20 points, and then we go over to ES so far today, 8. So just under half, but that's what's expected right now. Until we break this high, maybe get over like 7150s, then we can look for that continuation or under 40s. Is this the exact same spot? This is the exact same spot we took DGen hours in. Because we did DGen hours right here. So all of that market today, and we're at the exact same price. Cisco, that's the best way to look at it. And that's the thing, patience. I could easily just start slapping random trades for the stream, hoping for the best. Could it be entertaining? Yeah. But I don't feel like losing evals for the sake of doing it. Put the sign up note. Steve, DGen hours is a special time. DGen hours isn't when we're bored and want to just throw an account at the wall. It's when there's volatility and like the DGen aspect can really pay off. If I DGen right now, what am I going to do? Hope for a 3-point breakout? That's not fun. You want DGen to be exciting. If this breaks, we might go 30, 40 points on ES. Not if this breaks, I'm going to hit a 5-point trim. Yeah, you got to keep it as DGen hours is special. You can't just throw it up anytime. Do you trust support zones on news candles? I personally look at support and demand. So I see support and demand similar to like support and resistance, right? It's just different words, same thing. Where it's just price isn't essentially being accepted past. And that's why I use finite levels, but any level I use is more of like a little bit of a range. That's why I draw these bars. Because you can put a really tight level, like let's say somewhere around this area, but we know there's also a little bit of resistance up here. So this general area is going to be the broader resistance. It depends on news candle wicks. What I do is I always zoom out and look at other price action. If I zoom out here, you have this right here that gives us a current support because it was a resistance. This little bit of a consolidation. And then every single spike lower this week has came directly into this 780s area and held. So that is my line in the sand brick wall support. Every single rally has gone right up to 71.85 and held. That is my resistance. Yeah, it's a knock for sure, but we're knocking both directions. And this market for me is going to be more so, all right, we're in this tight daily consolidation. Which way are we going to break now? The longer we sit here and the tighter it gets, it's not always going to be, all right, this is a bull flag no matter what. Because I think it happened in 2022 where we saw a really nice rally in the market, like 3 weeks of just straight consolidation, 2 or 3 weeks. And then we broke the lows and just made new lows. That's possible. Do I think we're going to break the lows and go all the way down here right away? No. Can it happen? Yeah, the market's on crack right now. Anything can happen. But it's more so just looking at this range. Whichever way we break, I'm willing to trade on a broader perspective. While inside of this, I'm willing to trade both directions because we're in a range. That's what it is. That's how you trade ranges. But outside of it is where I'll really get a stronger bias. Yeah, Diego, we might get the same thing. It was a tiny range until we got the volatility that kicked in. That volatility was from, I found out it was like Asia market financials came out hot. And that's what started that sell off. And when you're in a market like this where it's a lot of uncertainty, the littlest news can make a huge impact, right? Asia finances shouldn't necessarily impact us that insane. But then we saw a 1% sell off within 20 minutes. I haven't traded props, and when I do, if I choose to use TradingView, would I have to pay anything for TradingView? I don't know that, Nicholas. The greatest part about this chat is they're actually very helpful, believe it or not. They're not all trolls. They're very helpful. If anyone here has traded prop or like a prop firm with TradingView, do you have to get the subscription? I don't link them together, personally. I trade Tradeovate over here on my other chart, and I just use this for charting. I won't link them. What are your thoughts on coffee? I fucking love coffee. Vulture, what was the ticker for coffee again? I'll look it up if you're being serious. But coffee in general, I love. I just like the taste of it. Black coffee is the best. What up, Cole? What happened to last night's eval? Didn't make it, Diego. Now the eval's alive, but it went through hell. Yeah, Jake. Yes, they asked thoughts on Jake. If you go to one of the very first messages in here, it got my hopes up, thinking we were going to see the greatest move humanly possible in the market. They were like, "Oh, it looks like we're really setting up for a generational move," and then the next words were longing soybeans. My hopes. I was reading that. I'm like, "Oh hell yeah, something's coming." And I saw soybeans, and I'm like, "Shit, he's trolling." Oh, dude, they want me to be full degen. They want me to long wheat, soybeans, whatever future I can. They want me to send it. Yeah, Diego, fully agree. Sometimes people think consolidation is bulls fueling, but it's actually market deciding if it's prime or is still some value to pay. Yep, all it is, consolidations are indecision. Easiest way to look at it. Until that consolidation breaks, the indecision's still there. Once it breaks, whatever decision's made, whichever way we break, is the way I like to trade. How do you get the bias for each session? Looking at higher time frames. Like the number one reason I went over it a little bit earlier of why I have low expectations for this time frame or this session right now is if we go to something like the weekly. All 4 of these charts would look great with a weekly consolidation to close just like this. If they do, that means we have 21 and a half more hours of nothing. Sorry, I know most of the other streamers are in here. You hate to hear it, but tell me that weekly wouldn't look great closing exactly how it is. You go to the daily chart. What do we have? Daily consolidations. All daily failed to go lowers, which is good. We held the low of the range, but for my session at least, we're smack dab in the middle of the range. Not ideal. I want to be near the highs or near the lows because that'll give me some conviction to trade either way. We have a low, mid, and a high of every range. We're just stuck at the mid. We got to see which way, how we respect it. Then you go to the 4 hour. 4 hour, you look at this. NQ is a little stronger. I'll go to that next. But this, we're sitting right in the middle. I would love for us to be up here, look for that break. Alan may get the juice in his stream for that. But for this one, right now, unless Asia brings some real heat, it's not looking that promising. But NQ is slightly stronger because it held its rally off the initial and is consolidating up here versus everything else around the open. What up, Nash? Guys, I made 12% on coffee, on cotton. Coffee's next rip. I know you did actually crush cotton, which is crazy. It's a crazy thing to think. Coffee futures. I mean, that chart doesn't look bad. The monthly looks like shit. But the weekly and daily don't look bad at all. I'm not long in coffee, but it doesn't look terrible. I'm for sure trading evals tomorrow. I think it's the perfect time to trading evals. I got an eval hanging on for dear life from yesterday, and I got another one still that we can trade. Thoughts on the blue sky? I don't know, dude. I'm colorblind. It's blue. Partly. Silver. No, we're not we're not trading silver. Gold finally moved, or is it still stuck? It's slowly trending lower. Long coffee is one of the better looking daily charts right now for like actual continuation. Copper moves nice. I didn't even think about trading copper. When do you think evals will allow to trade metals again? Well, Diego, that tells me you're likely on Apex. And what I would say is get off Apex if you want to trade metals. You can trade metals on, I'm pretty sure, every prop firm except Apex that I have on the list above. Actually, that's only the part list. Hang on. I got the wrong one on. There we go. But no, just change prop firms. Easiest one. I don't think any prop firm should be limiting people from trading metals. It doesn't make any sense. Especially because in the time, yes, was when we saw 20% moves on silver and gold. I get it. Apex probably got rinsed. I'd think about the same thing. But we're allowed to trade oil. You know, it doesn't make sense. If you can't trade metals because of the volatility, why can I trade oil? Oil is more volatile than all of them right now. Lumber is coiling up. Vulture, you are a true futures guy through and through. Who cares about trading options if this man has cotton, coffee, and lumber? So you're telling me if I need to build a house, I need to start buying now? Thoughts on orange juice futures? No, Diego, it's just I think Apex and I believe possibly Top Step. I can't confirm Top Step, but I know there's 2 prop firms that don't let you trade it. But no, like I can go trade gold right now. How do you think, like when Jake trades prop firms, he trades gold, but he also trades his personal account. Olanu, that's a valid statement. Why would you say no to free coffee for life? One trade would pay for a lifetime supply. That's a good argument. I'm also keeping an eye on the indices here. And gold. Do I really want to trade gold? I mean, the daily looks terrible, but 4 hour did spike the lows. by 7 ticks. If we get above like 47.50, I'll be a lot more interested. Could get an early entry here. Pretty tight stop. 4 points to the open. Could run 4 or 5 point stop. That's what I'm here for. Free financial advice. Hey, as long as you're giving the financial advice, we're good. I trade GC on Top Step. Okay, so Top Step, you can trade metals. I believe there's one other prop firm that at least limited it or tried to limit it. I don't know which one. I could be wrong though. It could only be Apex. I just know Apex doesn't let you trade metals. Okay, so they limited you on certain prop firms. Okay, got it. To be fair though, 99.5% of traders shouldn't even be thinking about trading 2 minis on gold. Jake rarely trades more than 2 minis on gold. No, Chris, that happened on Apex. I'm still watching the indices, don't worry. That Apex made that call after this day when gold did that. Because I have a feeling everyone was just buying 20 evals and throwing them into the wind. Because after this, they got really strict. So they probably had a lot of people get funded and a lot of people stack up. Because this was before Apex made their new accounts. Back when this happened, if you caught part of that move with any type of gold, you could bank $10,000, $20,000 per account and then just slow trade the account until you get the max payout unlocked. And because of that one day, Apex probably lost a lot. Yeah. I don't even know what the margins were on personal, but I know normally gold margins are high. Hell yeah, Daniel. Cetizen, I know there's a few people in longs. I'm still waiting to see how we react to this like 47.50 area. Because if I'd be more irritated if we reject, push right back to the open, and I was in a position. So I'm going to wait, see how it's going to react, and then look for an entry there. Like I said, I don't hate if someone took an early entry. Definitely worth the risk if you like the setup. For me, I'm just being patient today. Gold personal is 1K margin, but he was talking about during that bigger move. Took it, beautiful. Yeah, I mean, there's a chance if it just rips, might not get an entry right away. Can always look for a higher low. Jake has 2 gold blunts if you go short on GC with 2 minis right now. I would have been liquidated immediately. Right, that probably would have just liquidated me, even though it's 5 points. 2 minis on gold is nuts. Appreciate you, Mitch. Yeah, Eldridge, I moved my stop loss, and it technically bit us in the ass. Was that 2 days ago? On the trade that Jake held overnight, I moved it, and then the stop loss got hit by like 2 or 3 ticks, and then that was basically the lows, and it just kept going. It depends on how I want to take the trade. If I have super high expectations, I'll just leave my stop and let it go. There's times I'll move it to break even. There's times I'll trail it. If I have lower expectations in the market, I'll trail it. Like if I took this entry, I wouldn't be trailing the stop right now. I would want structure to set up. Maybe we start to see something like this where we set a higher low and then we go back higher. Then I could look and say, all right, on a lower perspective, if I don't want to hold this long term, I would just target this low for a stop because we shouldn't lose that if it's going to hold structure. So it really depends on my perspective with the trade. Evan, even though I've talked about consolidation all day today, right, so far, I'm still torn on what I want tomorrow to do. Because the number one thing that loves to happen on Fridays is we get some type of consolidation like this, and then Friday is just a straight yammer, you know? Usually market dumps Fridays. I mean, it depends. This was last Friday. Thursday consolidation, Friday all-time highs. So not every Friday, but what we're essentially getting at is market loves to move on Fridays. I'm definitely open to seeing a really like a decent push Friday. All I would want to see then is us open around 71.85. If we open around 71.85 tomorrow, I'm decently interested in trading. If we open around 71.50s, I'm probably not even going to open a broker. And that's how I'm approaching tomorrow. Yeah, Eldridge, a lot of Fridays I don't necessarily trade. Mainly because when I'm looking at options, I want a really nice setup, but I'm going to be taking next week expirations no matter what. Because 0 days are my kryptonite most of the time. Because I always just want the bigger move that's going to happen in the next 2-3 days. And I'm like hoping it happens that day. So I just don't execute well in 0 days. Yeah, Evan, I can see it either way. Big consolidation, or we end up getting up towards 85. And then we look for that continuation in the new all-time highs tomorrow. If we get up to 85 tomorrow and get that break, I would expect a pretty strong attempt into the highs. Vulture, I need to see your list of futures. This is not a joke. Look at the chart for rough rice. What the is rough rice? This morning's price action kind of threw me off. What with this break? I know Jake was trading this morning. I was watching it. I wasn't taking any positions. So I just don't know what you mean by it threw you off. This guy's, he's 100% nuts. The futures he trade, like most people are like, oh my God, can you trade gold? He's like, dude, look up Pinewood futures. Greatest long you'll ever see in your life right now. It's easily the quote of the week. He's talking about futures I didn't know existed. You're telling me there's a rice futures? Should be a snippet. I could mark it. We can make it a little clip. It's easy. Rough rice is what they use on spicy tuna crispy rice. There's a future strictly for that. Just looked up rough rice. Yeah, Vulture, it makes sense because no one's paying attention to it, so no one knows. I guarantee you go to hedge funds, they're probably trading the stuff you're talking about. I'm just trading what I know that actually has liquidity. It's just you go to Jake's stream and everyone's in there. Jake's trading NQ. Everyone goes, dude, do you even trade gold anymore? Jake goes to trade gold. Everyone's like, oh my God, do you even trade NQ anymore? Like that man can't win. I look at all 6 main charts, and Vulture's in here, rather rough rice, coffee, and cotton right now. Generational. Trade lumber futures and play log sound effects. Diego, you find me at coffee options, I might be interested. Find me an ETF for it. Morning, Robert. So we got a little bit of a break. I wanted to see some type of setup here. Technically, there was a little 2-minute 3-bar play. I wanted something, didn't get exactly what I want. Probably missed something, but we can still watch gold at the open. Watch oil for possible shorts below the open if it's going to pull back overall. Only thing I don't like is hourly and 4-hour. That doesn't mean a trade can't set up, can't come to fruition. We do have all the indices above the open. So thesis right now is going to be to the upside. Just got to find an entry. $27,100 please for NQ. Oh, that's not crazy at all. We're close. That's actually a really nice area. They're like 95 to 100. It's a big hourly pivot right here. And above that, you just look straight towards today's highs at 56. Does anyone trade platinum? I know one person that trades platinum, and that's Tory Trades. I don't know a single other person that trades platinum. I'm sure there's people in here. Cough is the code. Is that actually a ticker? Wisdom Tree Coffee. That's what you want me to trade? That's the chart? This is what you're feeding me? You got to do better than this, my guy. That looks terrible. Going back to NVIDIA. Disappointing. Congrats, you've been liquidated. Robert, soybeans has been in the comment 10 times. Imagine the breakout it could have. Yeah, Evan, I can't wait to see that doji candle gap up 3% into another doji candle that gaps up another 0.2% into a doji candle. They'd be the greatest. That's like trading XOM options at the open. You can't. For those of you that don't know, if you swing trade XOM, you have no clue when the XOM trade opens, and that's the greatest thing about it. Because it could open at the open, it could open 3 minutes into the open, it could open 5 minutes into the open. XOM opens whenever it wants to. I was not the coffee guy if he asked for an ETF. I was efficient, not effective. Valid. You know what? Props to you. Props to you. If someone's trading rice in here, someone's definitely trading platinum. Fair. That's fair. Yeah, Eldred, low expectations helps during Asia. It's just you also have to be willing to hold longer for it. Like if you can catch 1.5 2R, my sweet spot for reversals is like 1.8R. I'll target 2R, it'll hit 1.8, reverse right back down. Just a heads up for anyone taking trades. If I'm in a trade, look at that 1.8 area. That's likely where the first trim should be. But no, managing expectations during Asia is great. And at least until the 8 p.m. open, then you kind of see how it reacts. There's times where there's opportunities. This looks great. I could see this chart slow grinding up to 180, 185. It could make sense, especially if we get over this little end of day high. Because where's the next area of interest? Between 61 and 68. That'd be where we'd likely trend to. Probably build a slight consolidation here. If we break that, look for a little trend up towards this. And then possibly here. Over that, you have all-time highs right in the picture. Big Austin, as much as it sucks, what you went through is probably one of the best ways to learn to not force trades when there's not a good setup. Because at some point, like for me, I did that a lot until I finally got sick enough of my own shit where I was like, all right, I'm done doing this. Now, occasionally I'll still do it. I'm human. I make mistakes. But I just got to the point where I was like, all right, I'm sick of my own shit. Same reason I haven't traded earnings in the last 5 earnings seasons. I traded earnings enough where it did something like Tesla, looks really good in the first 30 minutes. Then it pulls back to break even. Contracts open up, minus 80%. I'm like, well, that sucked. All in hopes for one trade to work out. But it's just how I'm stubborn. I have a hard head, and it took me a while to actually start learning stuff like that and come to realization the market wasn't the problem. I was. But everyone's different. Moke, you're telling me I could signal a long on hummus? I need to learn. The main thing I trade is futures markets. And this proves my thesis of yesterday. I don't know shit about trading. There's a hummus futures. Oh, you son of a bitch. Vulture's like, I got you, my man. I'll teach you. Clip it. Jake, timestamp it. No, Jake, just from yesterday's session, Didi's going to have a blast because I watched the whole 3 hours earlier. I got like 14 points that I told him to look at. For my summer, tell you what you think. I'm trying to see who Diego replied to. I didn't see the initial message. I don't know. Good to know, Olnu, so I can trade soybeans, soybean meal, and soybean oil. No short at opening? No. Well, I had to short the opening. We gapped up. Gapped up, held the open, retested the open, held. I don't want to short that. Or you mean like opening New York session? If it's New York session, I didn't trade today. All I did was manage NVIDIA. I don't know shit about fuck. Dude, me and you both. Steph, so I'm going to go to your question. You say you have a hard time passing 150K eval. Why are you trading 150K eval? Is my main question versus like a 50K. There might be an actual reason, which is why I'm asking it. Big Austin, Matt was here earlier. He's here somewhere. Okay, Steph, one thing I'm going to ask you, and this can go to the whole chat, is what is like a comfortable loss that you would take if you were trading your own personal account on one trade? Because this can help a lot of people. And it's exactly why I don't trade 150K accounts. 500, so then I may lean a little more towards the 100Ks. Unless you're just trading larger sizes. But you have what, 4,500 in drawdown? So what that tells me is you're likely sizing a little bit bigger because I highly doubt you're losing 9 trades in a row every single time, you know? So what I would do is one, size down to that actual like 500 stop, or look to possibly go to a lower account and reduce risk a little bit. The bigger payouts do help. Nope, I take bigger losses. See, that's, you kind of answered your own question there. You're comfortable losing 500, but you're losing more than that. So just size down to where you risk 500 and you should see a decent difference. Because the number one thing there is it gives you 9 potential losses. So the hourly looks decent. I was waiting for a retest of this, but we didn't get all the way back down there. So I'm trying to see if this is going to be like the potential entry here, which would be unfortunate because I just wanted a little bit more of a pullback. I'm also looking at all the other names. Because ES and NQ are obviously stronger. But the YM and RTY are in a decently tight consolidation here. If they do get a break, even the YM, I mean, right away you're looking at possibly 60 points, which isn't crazy. But if it wants to go up towards the recent highs, you're looking at 215. And it has a pretty nice entry potential here. So you could run a stop at the open, which would be 20 points, versus ES, if you did that, it'd be 10. I'll get to the chat in a second. Let's take a real quick look at the dollar. Dollar's gapping up a little. What's oil doing? Oil's a little bit weaker, but it is coming into the open. It's still above the open, which is something to pay attention to. Gold is below the open. That shouldn't have too much of a factor on the indices as a whole. That is weaker. I'm kind of interested in YM. The problem is we have this big resistance right here at 500. So it would be an early entry anticipating the break of 500, which could end up maybe getting us to like 0.75 to 1R before fully looking at it and say, all right, can we really get up to like this bigger target? Because when you look at something like that, it's definitely worth the risk to reward. If you want to manage expectations, you look at that, be roughly about 2R, just targeting the end of day highs, which was also resistance from pre-market or the open and pre-market as well as last night. So this 500 is going to be a really big pivot. Give it a second, see what this 2 does. Might be good that I started focusing on YM. Because if it does start to reverse, kept me out of the trade. But I am interested in it just because it's also like the risk to reward to the open is worth it if the setup presents itself. 5-minute did fail on all 4 time frames, so we got to keep an eye on that. What about them dumps? If it dumps, I'm not longing it. Simple. I might just stab YM though. Throw a stop right around the open, right around like 40-20, exactly 40 points, which is pretty tight. It's not tight, but it's not like aggressive. It'd be equivalent to 5 points on ES. I'm going to take it on YM, throw the stop at 20. And then there is a chance Asia opens. We see the volatility from yesterday, right? I'm not risking an astronomical amount. And then I'm just going to leave that. So I did take it. Nothing going to be extreme risk. I already said today I'm trading evals. I'm probably going to have a lot of the chat to catch up to. That's going to be the first initial like target. But y'all already saw where I would be looking for the overnight. See if we can go 2 weeks in a row, Friday with a YM absolute banger. And yeah, I'm putting everyone through the YM. Were you risking it? Yeah, I'm taking a little bit of risk. What up, Dax? If it pulls back, it pulls back. This isn't a crazy risk. There's a chance. Like you could wait 10 minutes till Asia open. I like the potential on it. Even though the 5 technically did fail to go higher, we're in uptrends. The YM is still in this range, but this actually came back, retested this, which is really good. As long as we hold that, we can look for the continuation up towards 500 could be somewhat of resistance, but I like that like 525 area. If we get over 525, there's a lot of upside towards like 700. It would be another overnight potential long hold. For YM, yeah. Yep. I just took a long on YM. at 460. You trade? Yes, I trade 50K accounts every time. I've tried 150Ks. I don't like trading full size minis because with 150K, I would likely need like 3 minis. That's more than I would normally risk on a personal account. So I don't like the losses. Even though it's fully paper, just psychologically, I don't like losing $1,200 trades. So I like to size down, go to that. Normally, I'm going to risk 250, 300 on a trade. If I'm absolutely loving the setup and I have a buffer built, I may risk upwards of like 500 max, but that's it. Anyone in chat longing cheese barrel futures? I don't even have a comment. If gold gets over the open, I saw someone ask for longs. Gold over the open, a lot of opportunity for longs. Especially if you're looking at the hourly. If it does break, it could come up and retest that like 36 area. Big if though. It needs to get over the open. $100. Guys, if you're enjoying any of the content, not even just my channel, like not even just my stream, any of them, hit the subscribe button. If you want to keep up with everything we do, right? Like if me or Jake decide to, we'll do a random Saturday, you're going to want to know what's coming, right? You might miss the Instagram story. Turn on notifications. You got to subscribe to do it. So, Jake, you forgot the G. And also, I did realize while watching the stream yesterday, the overlay works. So every time someone subscribes, your name gets posted right above my picture here. It's kind of cool. Random Saturday incoming. Omar, I got to see. I would be open to it, but I got a waffle this weekend. Of course, we go to all-time high. They keep propping this market up. Yeah, they keep buying. I'm going to keep buying. Easy way to do it. Random streams, you have my attention. Hell yeah, we'll bring Mitch in. No, out of the way. That is the Globex session. So the way futures works is 6 p.m. Eastern is the Globex open. That's just the global market open for futures. The Asia open is when the Asia stock market opens, which is in 4 minutes. So there's a bit of a difference there. What up, Callan? I open stream. I see long YM. Yes, sir. TP, I probably went over it since then. I'm looking at like 525. If you want a closer target, you can probably get a little over 1 hour at 500. Not opposed to it. Bigger target would be 700. Once again, y'all know how I trade. If it gets there, it would be hey, stream's over. Good luck. Hope it hits. Yeah, I went over it yesterday. Even if the market goes lower, and I was wrong yesterday on longs, is what it is. If we keep seeing pushes towards all-time highs, I'm not going to short. I do not care. Are there going to be intraday shorts? Yeah, but I'm going to follow the trend. Right now, the trend is a range, so we could see a pullback easily. That's why I said Asia could send us back down, hit this stop loss. All it would do is retest the session lows. Okay, that makes sense if it wants to do it. I'm not opposed to this pulling back and stopping at all. But as long as the broader market's going to keep going higher, I'm going to keep longing until it doesn't. Thoughts on 20K prop accounts? I don't hate them. You just got to trade smaller size. If I'm on a 25K prop account, I'm risking like $150 a trade. So we long now. I did. You don't have to. I did. You do what you want to do, but I long. Exactly what I did. Beautiful. No, you'll know when to short when people start, like when your grandma starts calling you and says, hey, should I sell some? Should I go? Like, what should I buy? And then when you start seeing people say Bitcoin's going to $1 million again, you'll know the top's coming soon. There's usually signs, and those are usually those are it. What price you targeting? 525. Sell. Yep. Whenever you start seeing people go, oh, Bitcoin's going to $1 million, you're like, all right, we're getting a 30% pullback here. Tokyo opens 8 p.m. Eastern. This is called like the Asia session stream, but Asia opens right in the middle of it. Poison, my best friends from high school, one of them once asked me, he's like, how much do you make? I'm like, enough to pay the bills. That's what I tell literally everybody, because that's all they need to know. But he's like, all right, well, I make this. If I give you 10K, what can you do? I looked him dead in the face. I'm like, I'll lose every dollar for you. And he's like, what do you mean? You trade for a living? I'm like, yeah, I trade my money. If I trade your money, I'll lose every penny. It's the best thing I can do for you. I'm broke. We're doing 3 giveaways today. One thing I will say, and Christian's done a great job of saying this. This entire thing is self-funded by Jake. If Jake gave away 3 accounts every stream, go ahead and go to any prop firm that he's given away, put in code RAKE, see what that price is, and multiply that by 15. You want that man to pay that per day? Come on. But no, he was generous enough. We weren't supposed to get another one until we got 31,000 subscribers, I believe. But he was generous enough. We got one for today. We do. But y'all better show Jake some love for giving these away, because that man alone, think about the streams we've done. There hasn't been a stream where I don't believe a prop firm hasn't been given away. That's a lot of money for week 2. Do you withdraw but leave a buffer to go live or max withdraw? Colroy, I'll straight up say it. I've never been live. I've gotten multiple payouts from accounts, but I've nuked them before I've gotten to the live part. I'll be honest about it. Not proud of it, man enough to say it. But no, I like to leave buffers, because the last thing I want to do is take a withdraw and then squeeze the account completely. I don't want my trading to be nitpicky where I'm like, I have to snipe this entry or the account's gone. Even if I have to take a $700 withdrawal, it's still $700 in my pocket. I can do some things with $700. So for me, 100%. Teaching people to fish and giving them fish too. That's the thing. Jake's teaching people live on these streams. Well, we all are, how we trade. And then he's like, you know what? Test it out yourself. Here's an eval. Have fun. Is there any benefit of going live? Yes, there is. And I mean, you can play the prop game 1,000%. I don't know the tax parameters for live. I believe you're still 1099. Could be wrong on that. Don't quote me. But no, it used to not be. Then Tradeify added the aspect that you can go live with multiple accounts. I believe Lucid did the same thing. I believe there's 1 or 2 other prop firms that do that. Where there's no benefit, well, I mean, there's a benefit, but it's not as good, is if you're trading something like, let's say, Top Step. I don't know if they let you go live with more than one, but if you have 5 Top Step accounts and you go live and they take you to one account, it's kind of like squeezing you back, because now you only get one, you know? I got live with Top Step. Nice. Congrats. There's very few people that do it. I've yet to be able to fully do it, because I've been a little bit of a degen at times, but I think it's in the description. But every day, if you just click on the YouTube, click live, you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see every session and when it is. I don't know if Jake put it in the description or not yet. I can't see that from here. No, Steph, I'm going to be honest. I've never even heard of Funded Seat. Number one thing I'll say is I won't touch a new prop firm for at least like 2-3 months. Won't do it. I'm not, and Jake's the same way. I want to see it proven first before anything. I know, like I've met Brett in person before he launched Tradeify. He reached out like in the very beginning, and I didn't do it right away just because I want to see how the prop firm's going to do. I'm very particular about like putting my name out there and what I kind of want to put it behind, just for me in general. That's just how I am. Yeah, I would just, for prop rooms, I just give them a little bit of time, see how they do, see if they hold up. If they do, cool. If you want to try them, feel free. I'm also the kind where I like my prop firms. I got a basket of them, and I'm going to trade those. I'm going to find what works, and I'm going to stick to it. Oil looking a bit toppy and could drop $2. I probably missed someone else's thing. It's in the description of who's currently streaming. Yeah, that's just probably the stream title. Yeah, so I would just say go to the live tab and click it. I don't like the rejection at the moment. Because what we're doing is ES is rejecting this little pivot that we talked about here. RTY wasn't able to get away from the open. So it's a similar situation to yesterday, where we're starting to look a little toppy going into Asia. And if it does start to pull back, I would expect this to smack. Gold, big rejection of the open there. Oil didn't get to its open. So like I said, that's going to be something really important to pay attention to. Because if that doesn't get to the open, we could see buyers step in, and then we can go right back towards those recent highs. So this is going to be a really important like 5-10 minutes to watch here. Ayo, who's been liquidated on this trade? I haven't, but in the past, Yeah, Ray. The one thing I was talking about with TopStep, and nothing against them, but it's the fact that you can go from trading 5 accounts to they'll send you live and you only get 1. Where like Tradeify, you can get up to 5 live accounts to trade. So you can still do that copy trading if you want to, and that's what you do. Streamlabs just rose. That's because every time Moke gets on a stream, he does exclamation point full port. Because it's a command that I set up like day one. What's your thesis on this trade? Let's dive into it. Overall, we held the low end of the range towards the end of the day, came back, retested this, right? And then we broke out, came back, retested the early session highs. As long as we hold that, the structure is looking slightly more bullish. Is this aggressively strong? No, but it's stronger than weaker right now. Hourly had a really strong close above the prior hourly, which is great. Strong close. If we break above, should get continuation. Where should we target? I would be targeting like these 2 hourly highs. Those 2 hourly highs puts us right around 525, which is exactly where I'm targeting. If we break that, next kind of resistance is going to be up around 700. So I took it mainly with the expectations if the buying pressure continues and we do end up not consolidating tomorrow, we get more of that stronger buying Friday, we could see 700 plus. Do I think we're going to 50,000 tomorrow? Not like I'm not like I'm not like last YM we took where I was like, this can rip, but this does have potential. You playing a 20 point? I have a 40 point stop. Right now, 40 point stop, 65 point first target. $5,000. If we hit 5,000 tomorrow, the number one thing that's going to tell me is on every futures trade, if we just take it, throw a super wide stop, never move the stop, we're guaranteed to catch at least a 1% move once a week. Because this would be the third one in 2 weeks or a week and a half that would hit. Tomorrow we hit 50K. Filled out the 1099 for payout and got liquidated. That's brutal. That hurts my soul. First time trading with y'all. Welcome, brother. Happy to have you here. If you have any questions, let us know. Yeah, right. That's what a lot of people do. If they go live on one account, they'll just get evals with another. Alan's known for that. That man's locked out of 6 prop firms because he's maxed them all out. Roscoe, you're talking about in the Discord? I mean, my main thing is during the night, I've never really posted my trades in there just because I'm focused on this. If I start trying to post that and then also do this while also talking to chat, it's just going to get all messed up. How come you went with YM? I kind of just like the YM, to be honest. Got the little boomer stock in it. I think there's a lot of opportunity in the YM. I think there's opportunity in every name. If we do get the breakouts today, YM has room literally up towards 50,000 if it wants to hit the recent highs. It's lagging overall because it's nowhere near all-time highs. I think the YM, if the market holds, still has a lot of gas in the tank. I think we can see a few of these type of trades that like we caught last week as well. If the market wants to continue being bullish, I think every chart is good. NQ is relatively strong. NQ is already at the highs of the range that we talked about. If it breaks that, I'd be looking for 27,250, 27.5s on NQ over the next few days. Tomorrow has a chance where we get that like holy crap kind of rip day. And that's kind of what I'm looking at for potential here. If it happens, awesome. If we catch 1.6R, sick. If we get stopped out, is what it is. We'll come back Sunday. Jake, like in the beginning, I harped on it looks beautiful for range, but I just in my gut, we're in that point in the market where we're either going to heavily range tomorrow or we're just going to blow off the top. And I'm perfectly fine with round 2 because I liquidated my NVIDIA today. I'll look back on it and be like, you know what? I can get some cheaper contracts. Let's slam some NVIDIA just because. Put a little risk on. Okay, bet. So Sunday, we got a new session that we might be doing where Jake hops on first for the first hour, and then we just ride into the sunset, whether he wants to be on or not. After that, trade's looking solid. I like it. I like the potential on it. I think it's well worth the entry and the risk. I would love to close the week strong. The thing is, too, if we close the week strong, it would piss a lot of people off. Because I have never, in my trading career, seen, and this is a little bit of shit talk, I've never seen more influencers posting about how manipulated the market is. And I posted it on my story today. I'm like, if you've been a trader, you should know the market's manipulated. We've been in a war for 2 months. You're going to see manipulation. There's insider trading in the government everywhere and in big companies. You're going to see manipulation. The market's ran by multi-billion-dollar hedge funds. We're going to think it's manipulated because Susie and her $2,000 options account isn't going to make an impact on the market. A big firm makes one trade, it's going to make an impact on the market. No matter what, trading's manipulated. It's been manipulated since day one. You either got to adapt or die in the market. That's just how it goes. Yeah, Susie, she thinks she's making an impact and she's really not. Don't you mean the market makers are fucking people? Yeah. The market makers are targeting my stop loss on this 50K eval and it's pissing me off. Every trade I take, they're like, you know what? He put his stop loss right there on that paper account. We're going to target it over and over. It's the only reason my trades are losing. It's not because I suck. It's because the market makers. Oh, yeah, handsome guy. What up, Justin? Diego, what's the VMA? Volume moving average? Maybe. Right now, looking at this chart, in theory, if we go back below here, this trade would be more so invalidated. In the beginning, I'm always using wider stops because first off, we're in Asia session. If you traded with me in Asia session from the beginning, this market loves to wick. Last thing I want to see is it wick down and then come back up and stop me out. So I'm always going to run a wider stop. This could fully make sense if you want to squeeze a stop to put it there. I'm not going to do that. I would be more irritated. And I went over this yesterday. I'd be more irritated if we came down, wick this stop, and then shot up. The last thing I'm going to do is suffocate a trade to get a better risk to reward, where I would rather focus on the trade working and just getting to the first target. I can move this after, but a lot of you have seen it. Even after the trims hit or I move stops, I don't move this because this was my initial stop. This is where the trade risk to reward's from, but I'll move my stop up as it goes without a problem. Yeah. And that's just how I trade. There's people who might have already moved their stop to right here. There's people who might be trailing this 5-minute candle. That's perfect. If it works for you, it works for you. I don't judge people for how they trade if it works. Now, if you're doing something dumb that doesn't work and you keep doing it over and over, I'm going to judge you 100%. I'll judge you in front of everybody. No, that's the J King, 1,000%. We're a small fish in a big pond, brother. Market makers ain't worried about these small accounts. The entire chat here could put all of their accounts together, and that's Jake included, into the market, and it wouldn't make an impact. 191 people all putting their accounts into the trade. Unless there's like 10 stock market wolves just hiding in here, we're not making an impact in the market. I'm here for the comedy. Love you, Omar. Jake, I was going to do the funniest command, but it was going to take me, it would have taken me way too long to figure out how to correct everything. So I'm just going to explain it to you because you'll love it. I was going to make a command that was exclamation point Emily. And since you love Jersey Shore, I was going to take Sammy's note to Ronnie, reword the entire thing from Emily to you, and then make it post that when you did exclamation point Emily. It would have been the greatest thing in the world, but I sat there trying to do it for like 20 minutes and gave up. It would have been so good. But it was like 2 in the morning. It was just one of those 2 in the morning ideas. I'll do it now if you desperately want it. I'll work on it. I'll figure it out. But dude, I was laughing my ass off trying to do it. Yeah, Sido, that's the thing. Everyone's trying to, and the funniest part is everyone in the GameStop thing is like, oh my God, all the small guys are winning because we're squeezing the hedge funds. Most of the small guys aren't squeezing the hedge funds out of GameStop. It's other hedge funds seeing their competition that are overly aggressively short GameStop and going, you know what? Fuck that guy. And they long against it because they know they could squeeze them out. They know where their liquidation area is. I mean, yes, retail in something like that made somewhat of an impact, but getting GameStop to $600 a share isn't retail. That's other hedge funds going at each other's throats. And also, most retail got cooked on that because there's probably still people that own GameStop at $500. Mitch, the greatest thing is I have this hooked up to my OBS. So I see the entire chat and you can't delete those messages. So I see what you wrote. Would I be crazy to short NQ? 2011. I'm not going to tell you how to trade. And I'm not going to say it can't work out. But I'm going to look at this chart. It's kind of going up. If you have a big resistance and something fits your trading plan, do you, boo boo. I always say that. We're 40, 50 points away from today's highs. I would expect us to get up there. I don't think NQ is going to go all the way back down here. You could be a scalper, right? You could be looking to short down here. So there's a lot of stuff I don't know. But me personally, this isn't where like I'm looking to short. JK, you motherfucker. I go so in depth. And then you guys like, haha, JK, just kidding. Hell yeah, Zay. Diego, if you want to get into Gamma, our early morning guy, Mr. Mitch, who's on the wrong YouTube right now, is in the chat, that's the guy you want to talk to. That man will gamma your gamma till you don't even know what gamma means anymore. You're going to do what to my grandma? All right, that was good. Bro, when I started, I was used to short the highs. Yeah, 2011. A few days ago, I talked about this as well. In the past, this market would have liquidated everything I had because, oh my God, it can't keep going higher. Oh my God, it can't keep going higher. I would do that over and over. And then what I would do is we'd finally hit all-time highs up here. And I'd be like, you know what? I was wrong. We need to long. I would long it 5 weeks of consolidation every time. Do you trade through LLC with prop firms? I do. With my normal account? No, it's in my name. Prop firms I trade under my business. But one thing I'll say is I ain't giving shit for advice on that. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know anything. I'm like, hey, Mr. Accountant, does this make sense? And he goes, yeah, kind of. And I'm like, cool. I don't like that at all, bro. It's going to fill the gap. The gap down here, it can fill the gap. Let it fill the gap next week. Just because the gap doesn't mean it has to be filled right away. But it can fill the gap. It makes sense. Like I said, if this pulls back, hits the open, is what it is. I like the risk to reward, the potential upside for it. The greatest thing about gaps to the downside is they'll get filled. The market can go up another 10%. At some point, it'll sell off 20% and fill this gap. Doesn't have to happen right now, but it will. That's like overall structure with the market. The huge ES sell-off. Everyone's like, oh my God, market's dying. Holy crap. All we did was come down and retest all-time highs that we never really pulled back and retested. It just gave a healthy pullback, but it was more aggressive, yes. The market just simply came down, ES retested all-time highs, prior all-time highs. So did NQ, and then we went straight back to all-time highs. Trying short on oil, it should look good just by what the indices look like. So let's see. Yeah. 4 hours still an inside bar, which isn't bad. It just might need a little bit of time for it to actually break. But if the hourly gets back below the open's your bread and butter here. The open to like 96.60s. You get below that, you could easily target 540s. The thing with oil, though, is if we do reject this 96.5, which has been a big pivot, then we can look for a pretty big move down. 91.6s hasn't been retested from the upside. Wouldn't shock me if the market gets that big yammer day tomorrow to see this come all the way down to 91.6. Does it have to happen? No, but it can make sense to happen. ZS, he's not trading soybean oil. Diego, are you trying to find Mitch? Because he's technically incognito mode in here. But if you want to find Mitch, exclamation point, Insta, Mitch. Ray, 1000%. That's the number one reason I do it. Any payout I get, just write off the evals against it. If I break even between them, technically I didn't make or lose anything. It's a wonderful world. Where's Jake? Jake's in here. God. Who just went and made an account? Which one of you just went and made an Emily Loves Jake account? Also, why have you only been active during the Asia stream? Oh, someone just went and changed their name because they entered the giveaway yesterday. And then they changed their name today to Emily Loves Jake. Jake was here. I'm sure he'll be back, Emily. Don't worry about it. The message earlier from Insta Mitch is me. Emily herself. She's had a change of heart. She's reflected. Should I go in the logs and just unban Emily? Let her come back. See how tomorrow goes. Because she can still see. She just can't talk. Yeah, Roscoe, it's definitely something I can look into. But I just also have a lot of focus elsewhere right now. There's nothing wrong. Like, I can definitely look into it more and try to do it more. This is just my main focus during these. But I see what you mean, 100%. I get it. Do you trade one pro at a time? You mean one account? It depends. If I have like a bunch of evals, sometimes I'll group them in groups of 2. Other than that, I won't change anything else. I won't trade more than that together just because if I lose them, I don't want to lose 3 accounts at a time. I don't want to lose $300. Damn, Emily's speaking in third person now. Well, there's what now? 2 accounts. There's Jake's future wife, and then Emily loves Jake. Do you full port evals only if I turn on DGen hours? Normally, I'm just trading normal size. Like right now, I'm in 2 evals. I have one with 1 full YM and one with 5 micros. So I'm not aggressive size at all. But if the trade does work, it'll make me a really nice portion of the eval. I'm just not, I don't love full porting evals or trying to pass them in one day. Wait, Lamelli, do you actually not know who Emily is? Because if you don't, I feel like you're trolling. Yeah, I've just had bad experience in the past where if I'm trying to full port evals, what I'll do is burn through 6 evals, and now I'm down $600 to $700. And I'm like, all right, I got to get basically a max payout for it to be worth it. And it's just not something I want to do. Emily probably is a baddie. Oh, Christian, you missed the greatest segments of Jake's stream if you didn't see when he popped off on Emily. It's so bad she's the only person other than the bot accounts that have been shadow banned on this account. She could be in here right now and she could be typing in the chat furious, but it doesn't pop up. Monday stream, was it? It was either Monday or Tuesday and I think Monday and Tuesday. I think Monday is when he first popped off. Tuesday is when he banned her. I better pitch every day. What do you mean I better pitch? Bro, 2011, everybody's in these streams. That's the crazy part is we all go, oh, we'll just stream 2 hours a day so we have free time. We're all on streams 8 to 10 hours a day. Was she Jake's future wife? I don't think so. I'm thinking that's just someone who made a troll account. Like the person who made the Emily Loves Jake account in here and changed her name. Yeah, Mondays to find it. I think it's like halfway through. It's in the second half. Try to find when he stands on his chair. Those of you that watch will know exactly the moment I'm talking about. So oil's still fighting the open. Gold's finally looking for the break. Is anyone watching this? I know some of y'all are probably watching gold. Someone's probably already in it. Yeah, Lamelli, he went on like a 4-minute tangent of I forgive you, let's make things better. And then it went downhill very fast. Very fast. W Emily, I'm on her side. Hey, just don't let Jake see that because then he might cut your guys' giveaways off. How long gold? Hell yeah. Heading out. See you, Mitch. I would, as much as it would be boring, I would love just a very like methodical trend up to 525. And then at some point in the after hours, we attempt to break that to give us the bigger squeeze. Are you in a trade? Yes, I'm in YM right now. Up a whole 24 points. What up, IAG? Gold got that orb strat. I haven't really traded the orb much. Targeting previous day's high. First target is more reserved in case we stay in this tighter range at 525. Over that, yeah, previous day's highs. 49.7s. Above that, got to go for 50,000. Have to. My one account definitely won't have contracts for that, but it sounds like a user operator issue, Lamelli. If you called it, you got to trade it. We got to get you a DGen hour sign for that. The last like 20 minutes, you throw it up, just get an eval and send it. Because I trust me. I know my chat's definitely, even though it's the same people, they turn way more degenerate at 8 p.m. for some reason versus power hour. They all they want to do is see me throw an eval into the wind. What's already the target? Yeah, Christian, I talked about it earlier. Tomorrow, I have two options. Either somehow we stay in this tighter daily range, or we see an absolute like holy shit day as we rip through new all-time highs. Jake, there's someone in here that's dying to meet you. I'll see if they're still here and they comment, but someone's dying to meet you. I'm not going to out them. Yeah, cytosine, 1000%. DGen hours only goes up if there's a chance of like super high risk to reward in a faster moving market. Jav, sorry to hear that, brother. I mean, it's tough. I know that. 1000%. It sucks being down. My first year, I've talked about it multiple times how much I lost in the first 18 months of trading. It ain't easy. The hardest but easiest part is just the money's gone. You don't try to make it back from now. You just try to grow from where you're at. Look at your account as you're starting back from zero and go from there. Something that can be easy too is change brokers, because then you don't see that P&L at all. Your account's from zero. She's here. Jake, we talked about giving Emily a second chance. Go into the commands and unbanning her, see if she comes back. I never see you do DGen when I was in the Discord. I've done it, trade. Just normally when I do it in the Discord, I'm doing it with options. We can do that. Jake, just some people check their messages because I banned like 4 random bot accounts. Look at that, chat. Jake opened his heart during the Asia stream and Emily's coming home. Jake wants the toxicity back. We all know it. Sunday will be a fun one. I'm pretty sure, like, Jake, I'm 98% sure Emily's a mastermind student. Because in her logs, she says, I know you're my mentor. So I'm like 98% sure she is. Emily could be listening right now. She's not like banned from viewing the stream. Just her chats don't show up. Let's see if she's had an attitude adjustment. There's 2 options here. Either she comes back and like realizes what happened, or she comes out swinging, and it's going to be great. She is famous. All right, let's see what we're doing here. Oil's trying to hold the open. ES and NQ pulled back. And not pulled back, but they're rejecting a little bit. Problem is NQ's coming into yesterday's highs already. It's aggressively strong. RTY has not even gotten much away from the open. YM has. I think for now, I just continue to hold it. The risk is worth it. We're up like, what, half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, somewhere around there. I don't feel like taking that. I think I'd rather have my stop hit. Oh, almost 1 hour. Well, if you're a 1 hour trader, congratulations. Where's Parker? Did someone named Parker get banned? No, Diego, the messages from Emily were just, they weren't even like, they couldn't even been her tilting. It was just pure hatred, dude. I read through all of them. She was just mad. Colroy, that's what we love to see. That is what we love to see. And it sucks getting used to trading. It's hard. It ain't something easy because you're just battling your emotions. And if you're down a bunch of money, you're gonna be emotional. I've been there. It's not good to look back and be like, well, there's 3/4 of an annual salary gone. That money's gone. There's nothing you can do about it at that point. Sayonara. It's just when you finally realize that and detach from the money aspect, it becomes so much easier. Can't trade to your accounts for New York session only. That works. Nothing wrong with that. Everyone has them they like to trade. No, Zay, you know what we need? We need Mr. Tren as a guest appearance on the night session. That'd be my dream guest appearance. Con, you think she was just mad she didn't win the giveaways? That was the whole reason. Also, if you're in here and you haven't yet, I haven't looked at how many likes are on the stream, but if I do, I better not be disappointed. Y'all better go underneath the picture, hit that little thumbs up if you're supporting, if you want us to keep doing this. Also, while you're at it, subscribe. Why not? I ain't won shit. That's a skill issue. That's the only thing. They're 101. That's not bad. We could easily get 150. I mean, we almost got 300 yesterday. 150 is nothing. Yeah, Connor, that's a skill issue. I ain't won shit. Yep. I'm going to do the opposite by not liking it. I'll just shadow ban you. So something that's great about YouTube too is I could randomly ban someone and they don't know it, and you will never know because you can still comment, just nobody can see it. So someone could be commenting in the chat right now that Jake's already banned or something, and you'll think you're here, but you're not. You're just like partway here. Is Trent here? No, he's not here. No, I love Trent. He's cool. Trent's been on a world tour. Well, Connor, you'll know if I do because I read every comment. Y'all know I fuck with the chat heavily. I've missed a trade before because I'm fucking with the chat too much. Yeah, trade usually like 500 per account. If I'm being more aggressive that day, maybe 7, but typically 500. Percentage wise, it doesn't really relate to me. It's more of a number wise because I trade my options account the rake trades way, where my current options account has like $3,000 in it, and I'll trade more aggressive with it. I'll trade $1,000, $1,500 size without an issue because I have money in my personal account that I withdraw in my options account. Because in the past, what I used to do when I tilted, I'd full port that shit immediately. I don't want to have all my funds in there because if I full port it in a really bad tilt, that's not a good look. So I withdraw basically everything, leave enough to trade with, and then worst case, I have a bad day and I just throw it back in. But no, I'm usually risking on options like 500-700. Unless it's like a lower conviction type of trade, then maybe like 2. If it's something where it's like a 0 day towards the end of the day, I'll risk like $200. What causes a gap up? The market being bid higher. So when the market's going to open, people just bidding the price around 2,700. That's where they want to buy the contracts. versus at 26,940. That's it. With the stocks, it's people in the afternoon session, obviously buying shares, pushing it higher. Bitcoin looks like an easy long. If Bitcoin looks like an easy long, hang on a minute. We might be able to cook something for tomorrow. Let's see. That does. At least on the hourly. The 4 hour looks okay. The daily, 1, 2, 3. Weekly, if this breaks, I talked about it yesterday. 85,000 could come very quick. Now, here's what we do with this information. Same way I trade oil and oil names. We take this information, go to the stocks that trade Bitcoin or are involved in Bitcoin, look at coin. Coin is at the lower end of this daily range here. If it holds, where can we target? Back towards at least the mid of the daily range, so maybe 205s, possibly even 210s. Well, if it wants to do that tomorrow, we would look for coin to see a rally over like 202s up towards 210, 215s. Yes, would that be an extreme trade? 100%. Coin's daily ATR is like $7 or like probably $10. So that's not an insane trade for coin to move 9%. Would 9% be crazy? Yeah, that's why we look for like 210. 6% is not insane, especially on 0 days. Risk to reward would be worth it. So what I would do if I was looking at this is, depending on where we open tomorrow, look at 200s, 202s, maybe even 205s, be a little risky, and degen a little 0 day. Depending where coin opens, that might be my move tomorrow. Coin or go for the throat on NVIDIA and see if it wants to make the move. But I think if Bitcoin moves, coin could be a really nice potential 0 day tomorrow. So I'll keep an eye on that, especially if the Dow Jones pops a little bit. NQ is insanely strong. It is very strong. Yeah, you could take some Connell shares. That's the easiest way to trade coin. Sam, you're saying Bitcoin's not going to go to 85? Just not possible? Because I will say, when I called the Bitcoin short, I had people comment on my Instagram saying there's no way in hell Bitcoin goes down to where I was talking about. Y'all from office hours remember it. We were up here at 97,000. I said if we reject here, Bitcoin's going to 72 easily. I was told there's no way in hell it breaks 85. It went to 60. So the one thing I won't do with a chart is look at something and say there's no way, like that's not possible, because it is. Anything's possible in the stock market. It's the fucking stock market. Some shit can come out tomorrow and you'll see a massive move that people don't expect. It's part of trading. See, with the fundamentals and tech shit, I don't know anything about that. I'm just looking at the technical aspect of it. If you're talking about coin, I'm just saying if it holds this 95 to 97 area, we could easily continue this daily range. If it wants to continue this daily range, it could go up to here. Now, keywords. I'm saying it could go up to there, not should go up to there. Two big differences there. If I say it should, that means I have high conviction that it's going there. Could is going to be a higher risk, like, oh, if this does break, yeah, it could go to that point. Just like on YM, this trade could go up to 49.7. But until it gets over 49.525, it's a could. It's not a should. Like right now, if it continues to push lower and breaks 50, there's a likelihood it goes down to the open. At that point below there, it should go down here. That's just how it goes. Appreciate you, Stiffy. Is your name M Stiffy P? Miggy, it is weird and it's different from because the way other people trade with like the 1% rule, I just call it like the boomer way of trading, and there's nothing wrong with it. Mrs. Tiffy P. Okay. Good clarification there. Perfect. You see the reading error on my end. But I'll see you later, Tiffany. Yeah, it's just difference between like the newer style of trading and just the more conventional longer term style, where the 1% risk. For me, I'm definitely willing to risk more because I trade more aggressively, 100%. Bye. And that's just how I am. I'll definitely risk more, but that's just the way I trade because I'm trading for a living. And I'm not taking like longer term shares. I'm also not diversifying. I'm taking one, maybe two trades at a time. This is a good one. Any advice for someone that used to be funded and now it seems like I can't even pass an eval? The biggest thing there is you've done it before. You've been funded before, maybe more than once. You've shown you can do it. Unless it was a luck Hail Mary, you threw one trade and passed, you've shown you can do it. Now it's just up here. At that point, it's just all psychological. You just got to figure out what's making you trade worse. Like you said, when you get a funded account, you start trading bad. It's because you have funded, you have the chance of that payout now. So you start letting your psychology get into your trading. All you have to do is first off, just start sizing low once you're funded, once you get back there, because you will. If you've been there before, you can easily get there again. So when you get there, just trade a little bit smaller size till you feel more comfortable, and then you just start slowly sizing back up. You just got to try to reset your mentals with it. It happens. I've been there before where I've gone weeks without being able to get funded because I was more so being a degenerate. But you're likely just dealing with your psychology right now, and that's okay. Y'all see INCT. No, do they have earnings? I was about to say where to go, but after hours already closed. Oh, INCT used to always be short the earnings. I guess they changed their ways. No, I didn't talk about Intel. I don't know anything about the earnings. I just know they're getting a really nice gap up. Diego, what do you mean? Is there a reason to trade actions as well? What do you mean about actions? Thoughts on crude? I'm tempted to try, but not sure how smart that is. What are you trying to try, True? That's going to be the biggest thing there. But yeah, Sam, I'm going to touch on it again. If you know something fundamental about coin, fundamentals, I'm not your guy. I just trade the overall price action and just look at the way the structure sits on the chart. So I'm not disagreeing with you in any aspect. I'm just looking at it from a technical aspect of what could happen. Yeah, if oil continues to hold, gets over 97.35, we'll likely see a continuation, which would likely start to push these back lower. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on is how oil is going to react here. Didn't even get down to the open, so that's a little bit stronger on oil. Makes sense, right? The hourly got the close, pushing pretty strong up above this hourly high. How it reacts to this hourly high is going to be important. If it pushes back lower, it'll probably go test the open. But if it doesn't, this is a strong close. If it closes up here in the next 13 minutes, we can easily see it pop in the next candle, which should start to push these lower, like I mentioned. Yeah, NQ hourly, really strong. What would be the bad thing here on YM would be that hourly lower high would lead to the stop pretty quickly. Same with the RTY. So there's a chance we easily take the stop. You trade similar to BNF. I don't know who that is personally. Head out of the gutter. Brother, I was just reading the name. That's my bad. Olanu, I use levels. I just don't have them on. The only thing on these charts are the open, yesterday's high and low, last week's highs and lows. That's all I really use, that and structure during the Asia session. What up, Ryan? How you doing, brother? Yeah, I'm expecting YM to go to the stop here. Robert, you can do it on YouTube. I know that's a thing on like Twitch. Right. I mean, you do it. At the finish line, you degen. You got to size down 100%. Also, we will be doing a giveaway. So if we're 18 away from 150, I'll tell you what, I'll run it when we get to 150. So if 18 of you want to go like the stream, that's all you got to do. I'll do the giveaway. So that way those of you that want to go can go. Right. If you can pass 50 fundeds, you can definitely get a payout. At that point, it's just psychological. I don't know how long you hold to either go to Japanese trading. I'll have to look him up. Is his name BNF or is that like an abbreviation? Blew a fund today, made 1,200 on eval 2 minutes later. Yep. That's the greatest explanation of funded accounts. Nicole, I believe. I use hard stops on futures, especially in a volatile market like we're currently in. I'm using hard stops just because, let's say Trump makes a tweet right now and this breaks down with the way we've been going. If you get one of these moves, let's say you were watching right here for a stop. By the time this candle hits, instead of stopping out at 550, you're all the way down at 450. You just lost 100 extra points. That's a lot. Even with these kind of moves, if you have a hard stop, it's a limit order. You got to remember they're going to fill it where it can limit fill. You'll still get slippage on it. It happens all the time. So it's just something to note, but I will not use soft stops or mental stops on futures at all. I'll do it on options. I don't believe in hard stops on options the way I trade. That's just how I do it. Robert, that must be something with the features on the YouTube. So it might just be something we'd have to enable where you guys could clip if you wanted to. All my homies hate the YM. Yeah. YM's not doing it for us. She's struggling, but it's because oil is pretty bullish right now. If oil gets this continuation in the next 9 minutes, this is likely going to squeeze a little bit, and all these will likely pull back. Like I said earlier, though, if we open tomorrow around this like 7150s on ES, I'll have zero interest in the market because I would just fully anticipate more of a range chop day. Yeah, we can get continuation either direction. I just won't have much interest at all. YM's definitely slower. YM is 100% slower than most of the other indices, and I'm okay with that. RTY is either going to be absurdly slow or you're going to see 3% moves every other day. And then we all know how ES and NQ trade. What prop will the giveaway account be? Alpha Futures, right, Jake? I think. I believe it's Alpha. Yeah. Yep. And also, Alpha Futures right now is running a 20% off sale. They don't do this often. They don't run sales often at all. It's 1 day to pass, has a 25K account option as well, and it's a 90% profit split. And then the advanced accounts, you can request up to 15,000 per account after 2 weeks. Code RAKERRT. Would it change the vibe of that trade? It happens. It's just a part of the trade. It is what it is. Like I said in the beginning, if it stops me out, it stops me out. We were up like almost 1R at the highs, but that's not something where I'm moving stops, so I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to let the trade do its thing. We get 150 yet? I got to look. We are currently at 141, so we got 9 likes out of that. 142. We need 8 more of you guys to like the stream, and I'll run the giveaway. And y'all can win a free 50K Alpha Futures account. Do you trade gold? I do. Not that often, but I'll trade gold. I'll be honest about it. It's probably the least thing I trade other than the RTY. I saw Rye say he wanted to buy gold here. I would just pay attention to how we react to the open because this is the current hourly close we're looking at. If this is a 5-minute chart, we all know you're not going to be overly interested in longing that. So something to keep an eye on there. Same with the YM right now. The YM, why I'm expecting the stop to hit is if you look at the hourly, it ain't looking too pretty if it closes like this. I would at least expect a spike lower no matter what, whether we're going to be bullish or bearish on it, which will hit the stop. So the stop I'm fully already anticipated to hit. I'm just going to let the trade do its thing. If it hits, it hits. YM chilling. It's going to move up. I don't know if the YM is going to move up. Got my buy at the gap. On what name you looking at? Just curious because obviously the gap's going to be different on all of them. Like RTY and YM, the gap's not far, but NQ, the gap's a little more extreme from where we're at. ES. Okay. So you're looking at like 32? Miss K really wants that giveaway. I'll do it. Nothing, Zay. Just the market pulling back a little bit. For a cover from that point, I will seriously review my stop loss policies because my question was genuine. I'd be out by now, but I'm curious what's going to happen. Yeah, Diego, for me, it's just until I get trims, I have no reason to move my stop because like that's the risk I was willing to take on the trade. So at that point, I'm like trying to pinch dollars to now suffocate the trade a little bit. So I'm just going to let the trade go to where I have the initial stop at. That's just the way I like to do it. All right. So let me catch up on the chat real quick just to make sure. All right. So let's go ahead and run that giveaway. For those of you that are new here, if there's any of you, all you're going to do wait, don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. All you're going to do, go in chat, type exclamation point, enter, and then send the message. Once the bot sends a thing that says giveaway is now open, you do it. You can start now, right? Someone just did exclamation point Emily. You can do it. You're not going to get entered yet, so you're going to have to do it again. So let's do, y'all can do it in 3 minutes. I have faith. A lot of people, for some reason, aren't going to be able to get the entries. I don't know why it takes more than 3 minutes to type that, but the giveaway is started. Oh, yeah, Sam, I agree. Giveaway should be started. Why didn't it start? There we go. Now it's started. If you type before, type again. Exclamation point, enter. Someone just keeps saying the NQ is on steroids. This is all you type in the chat. Once you type it, you'll get a reply. You're entered in the giveaway. There's currently 43 of you. I expect at least 100. There's no way there's more than 50 people that take 30 or 3 minutes to type exclamation point, enter. And good luck. Nope, Cisco, you got to type the word after it. Nope, Sam, type this right here. Sorry, exclamation point, type enter, and then hit enter. Main, you forgot the exclamation point. Diego wants coffee. Respect. Am I interested in this NQ pullback on the 5 minute? No, because I'm in the YM. The way I'm going to do it is I'm just going to leave my YM position. I'm not going to double dip right now because I'm red on the YM. If I was like green on a trade, I'd be interested in like adding into another position. But while I'm red, I'm just going to leave it. I don't like adding into losing positions, which is how I technically view that. Yeah, if you guys already did the enter, congratulations, you're in. You have a minute 30 left. While you're bored, if you haven't yet, go to the stream, click the little subscribe button. If you really want to, turn on notifications. We might start doing some weekend streams from everybody. Victoria, I just thought the YM had a lot of potential. The NQ was definitely stronger. I was kind of looking for it to catch up a little bit, and so far it hasn't. So, mistake on my end. I think there's still potential on it, but now it's definitely weaker, which gives more opportunity for it to hit the stop. You have 50 seconds left. Of course, Ms. K. Appreciate you being here. There are 87 of you in here. So half of you haven't typed 6 letters and hit the enter button. Unless you just don't want a funded account. Then I don't know what to tell you. You got to type 6 keys on your keyboard and push enter. 91 of you, you have 20 seconds if you haven't done it. If it takes you more than 3 minutes to do it, I don't know what to tell you. You're just not meant to win. Nice, Cisco. 5 seconds. Last second to get in. If you didn't get in, I don't know. There's 92 of you. Somehow over like 100 couldn't do it. And that is it. All right. No more spamming. Let's calm down for a second. And pick winner. December. Is that the December from Discord? Or is that a different December? Hell yeah. Congratulations, December. Love seeing you win it. Shoot me a DM on Instagram or Discord since I know exactly who you are, and I'll get you the account. Wow, it's April. I know, disrespectful. We got Christmas in the spring. Stop. You just keep typing the Nasdaq is on steroids. Every time. Jake, if you won, I'd make you give away 2. It can't be rigged like that. The Nasdaq is on steroids. This is just a bubble. We'll shoot down before this month ends. I mean, it can. But if the market keeps getting bought, like I said, I'm going to keep longing. Even if I take losses. Jake had to give away 3. No, that's only if he wins. But that is the giveaway today. We're giving away 1. We gave away 2 yesterday and did DGen hours. So y'all got the special treatment yesterday and a 3-hour stream. Rigged as fuck should have been mine for real. Technically, it was yours, Jake. Not anymore, though. It was yours for a couple minutes. If you look at April monthly bar, it's like my guy said, steroids. To be fair, you could look at the market and yeah, is the market on absolute crack this month? Yes. But to look at this and say it's a bubble, are we extended on the weekly or the daily? Yes. Could we use some consolidation and pullback? Yes. But if buyers keep buying, I'm going to keep buying until the buyers quit buying. It just makes sense. If I take stops, I take stops. It's just a part of it. Time correction is the thing. Yeah, correction will happen eventually. He lying, Ron skipped me. I didn't choose Sam. If it was, I think I would have picked you because you've been vibing today. But I don't get the option. The bot picks. Austin, on prop firms, I'm going to be honest. I just buy. I just do buy market with the amount of orders I want. And the main reason there, most of the things I trade, unless I'm trading some 0-day, like high IV option that has a spread that's 20% of the options premium, I don't care where I buy. Futures aren't going to have that much slippage. So I'm just going to keep using the market. It's not going to make a difference. 1 or 2 ticks shouldn't kill me on a trade. If it does, I'm micromanaging it way too much. But like I said, if I'm looking at an option where the spread's 30% of the options premium, yeah, I'll try to get a good entry. Other than that, I'm just going to enter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, guys, once again, all these giveaways are funded out of Jake's pocket. The man chatting in the stream right now pays for every single one of these from the firms. They're not free. He's quite literally just throwing his money away to give you guys funded account or evals. And you better love him for it. So show your support because that man's a legend. You guys are also why we can do what we do. The support means the world. And I'll say it every stream. See you later, Miggy. Yeah, Victoria, same. I pretty much do that. Because with options, it's usually easier to get the limit filled. But with futures, I'm just going to do the market. Bob loves Christmas, unfair advantage. Valid. I don't think Jake needs better J's. I think he's got the shit he loves. All right, so we did get the hourly close. There's a chance that we see this tiny little wick hold, but NQ could use a little bit of consolidation. If it consolidates, YM's going to pull back. If YM pulls back, our stop loss is smoked. So it wouldn't shock me if that stop gets hit, or at least wicked. Jake needs a Latino. He does need a Latino. Maybe Emily's Latino. Hold up. Imagine Emily's actually the Latino Jake's been dreaming of. Plot twist. Cisco, appreciate you being here, brother. I love seeing new people on the stream as much as I love seeing the people that have been here since I did office hours 3-4 months ago. Name is actually Emilio. That's crazy. Oh, did I say Latino? Well, could be Latino. Never judge. What up, Greg? Ramoy, that's crazy. That's crazy. At this point, it's basically just watch and see, all right, is the YM going to be able to hold here? What's oil doing? Oil's pulling back. It could be the higher low. Hourly could be setting up that low failure to go higher we talked about. 4-hour did spike higher, which could be good for a pullback. There's a chance we hold in by, what is that, 6 points on a $50,000 name. Right, that would be golden. YM will hold. I think it can. My only thing is if it spikes just below the open to hit that stop. There's a chance I just got a bad entry, and it is what it is. The market have 2 options: to make new all-time high or small crash. What's your view?
Well, Yash, in that case, the market has three options. It can make all-time highs, small crash, or consolidate. I don't know. Till we break this range, I don't know shit about fuck. Once we break the range, that should give us some conviction either way. I think tomorrow we either consolidate or we see an attempt at all-time highs, personally. Could be wrong. See you later, William. If this trade holds this Return of the Jedi, it would be crazy, especially with the RTY there. I did put the stop just below the open, but the problem is if we test the open, we're probably going to spike below the open by a couple points, which will hit the stop. When Yankee Doodle, that's a good point. I do have to figure out music. I do have to get that. Maybe Sunday we bust out the Yankee Doodle. Yeah, Diego, it's not bad at all, especially if we get that kind of range, because then there's still trades within it. And that's with the range, there's a lot of potential trades either direction, right? If you were bullish or bearish today, bullish at the open, a lot of good potential, bearish midday, absurd potential, either way. That's the greatest part about ranges. You can find bullish or bearish moves pretty easily. What's oil doing? We need oil to crack the open like now if this has any potential of holding. I have very low hope this stop is going to hold. Do I think there's potential on why I'm after that? Yeah. If the hourly does fail to go lower, but that'd be another hourly candle that needs to print. But I have low hope in this stop. Your son wants to hear it? I might have to then Sunday. Yeah, Sam, it's more so just when at this point. Like, when is it going to hold and move? Stops at the gap. Yeah, you have a pretty nice stop. I like it. That's why I think I just got in early, is what it is. I have the stop where I want it, if it does. Just don't use stop. Prop firms hate this one simple trick. Till you get on a prop firm like Apex where they have $1,000 daily loss limit on a 50K. That's the worst part too. Like if you, let's say you have a bad day on a prop firm and they have a daily loss limit and you tilt, the account's not blown. It's just so close to being blown that even if you have a good day the next day, you're still not even break even. So you're just in a bad place after a tilt no matter what. And you have to fight back on that account. Yes, sir, Robert. If you haven't and you like these streams, not even just mine, anybody's, hit that subscribe button. Do us a little favor. If you lose an account, you can just say you thought you were trading for Jake from State Farm. Well, no, RJ, there's an easy method to this. If I lose an account, I just tell you guys there's no giveaway today, and I just use that account. Simple. Rig the entire system myself. Unlimited evals. As long as I just got to wait till Jake's not replying on stream. Boom. Free account. No one will know. It's a gift that keeps on giving. The audacity. I'm like, sorry, guys. Jake said no giveaways today. Why are you new here? If so, welcome. I'll tell you, the chat's completely a vibe as long as you're not toxic. If you're toxic, they'll go for your throat. Chat is ride or dies. Alanu, that ain't gonna work. I can't full port an account before I give it away because if I use the code, it doesn't work. That move represents 99% of the fate that trade is holding. That's the thing. At this point in the trade, I've already written off the stop. So if it goes back to like break even or a target, it's a hell yeah, this thing worked well. Because I've already fully anticipated, all right, this is a loser. Of course, Dev. Sam, welcome. Is this your first stream overall? Because if so, for those of you guys that are new, we do 5 streams a day. The next stream after me, I'm done for the week till Sunday because I'm a night trader. We have Alan at 1 a.m. Eastern. Absolute legend. He's maxed out like 6 prop firms. Man's an animal. Starting tomorrow, I believe 7 a.m., the Mitch and Jake duo start goes till about 11. And then Power Hour, we have Christian at 2 p.m. Eastern, runs till market close at 4. So there's literally 50 hours of streams every week for you guys. You're about to set up a fake YouTube and make yourself winner daily. I just handpicked the winners. Weird. This guy's won 14 times in a row. Bigger buys coming from the gap. Yeah, Sam, I'm not, I can tell you, I'm not looking at this trade going, oh, this candle means we're back. I don't think we're back. I think the stop's going to hit. If it hits, trade's a loss. Find another one. If we hit the gap, I'll 100% look and see how we react to that to see if we can find an entry off of it. I won't be on stream when that happens, most likely. Yep, agreed. I like your outlook. Don't pull some Emily shit. Yeah. Yeah, as long as you're not Emily, you're fine. Also, I haven't even had a single person on stream I've popped off on. But also, no one's been that hateful yet, so we're good. What trade are you in? I'm in YM. A little red. We down 28 points right now. Appreciate you, Diana. See you tomorrow. Well, yeah, I'll be in streams tomorrow, but I won't be back till Sunday once I end this one. Just got to learn to manage the emotions. You'll learn because a lot of these streams is a lot of patience. A lot. And it's just what it is. Even a lot of, like, most of my trades are this, not this, but where you enter and you're just waiting for either target to hit, the consolidation to break, or stop loss to hit, or waiting to get into a trade. Probably waited a little too long for this one, but I'd still take this entry again without a hesitation. I'm already full porting accounts I pay for. Winning a free one, too much temptation. Yeah, that's true. Oh, it's all right. The Tradeify Cup's coming in, I think, a month or two. So we can all full port those accounts together. We're either all going to be top of the leaderboard or be out of the runnings day one. Best channel in the space. Did you just change your name to Nasdaq on steroids? Or did you already have that name and someone else was just screaming Nasdaq's on steroids? You had to have just changed it. There's no way. That's just a coincidence. Yeah, Diego, reach out to Mitch. He's very open about everything. He loves to talk about Gamma. And the amount of information that man has about it is insane. I try to listen to him, but like there's a lot going on there. Appreciate you, Cisco. Actually, it's a basic view, but a lot of times London erases what Asia did. So if we're looking to set up a nice day tomorrow, might as well go down a little bit. Yeah, Diego, I have no issues if the market pulls back. If like I said, I'm fully anticipating the stop to hit. If we pull back more, cool. What could look decent is, let's say the 4 hour, if we get a more aggressive push today. I wouldn't say on YM and ES, because I wouldn't love those to fail to go higher. But on on NQ and ES, on YM and RTY, if we spike this prior 4 hour low and then get bought back up, that could make sense easily, which would fill the gap that Sam's looking for. Cisco, that's the problem with this space. There's a lot of scamming. So usually anyone who goes live, anyone who does anything is just like, you get a bad rep immediately. The greatest thing is we're not trying to sell a $5,000 course. All we do is if you want to support the stream, subscribe, maybe use code RAKE or RT at your prop firms. If you want to learn the system, it's $100 a month. So You could be in there for 4 years and pay the price of what other courses are. You're waiting for Singapore. When's like the Singapore market? If so, when's that open? Because I know New York, or I know Asia and London. This name, that dude was talking smack. You should have went after him. Appreciate you, Lefty. I mean, that's the thing. If you're bearish on the market, though, you love when people just want to buy nonstop because at some point they're going to get squeezed. Same thing with bulls. At the lows, we loved when everyone was trying to short because the second it starts buying, it rips. Also, when I'm bearish, I get bearish. Yep. Yeah, Mitch had a good point. Every single person on that is a host on this is a mastermind student. We all have the same foundation, but we've all built different branches off of that foundation, which is amazing to see. Which is why it's nice to go into everyone's stream, which is why we all watch each other's stream. It's why Mitch is on my stream at 9 p.m. It's why Lamelli will pop on. Alan will pop on if he's not overly busy because that man has a crazy schedule. Yeah, Cisco, most courses are like 3 to 6K, somewhere around there, which I think is crazy. Because most people that are trying to learn can't afford that at all. Good night, RJ. Yeah, and I think that's a really good report. And I'm not trying to sell anything, I'm just talking. The amount of masterminds people in here shows the support behind it. I'm barely learning to long. I have a shortish condition. Diego, there's nothing wrong with that. We got stopped out. Nothing wrong with that if you just have to find the shorts or find the charts that you want to short. One thing that I love is whether I'm bullish or bearish, I always pay attention to the indices and oil. One of them's typically going to be bullish, one of them's typically going to be bearish, and you can always find some type of trade. Ramoy, that's the crazy thing is Jake's streams are already at 1,000. Last night for this session, like 24 hours ago, we were at almost 300. Obviously, viewers are going to fluctuate. That doesn't matter to me at all. But just seeing the support this quick, this fast is mind-blowing. Just got in shorts. Beautiful. Hope they work for you. Depending on what you're in. YM and RTY could definitely be decent shorts. If YM holds below the open, it could easily short. You just got to watch the open and then last month's high here. We get below those, you can easily see it push lower. You use Tradeify? Yeah, Tradeify and Lucid are my main two prop firms. Diego, that's the biggest thing. Is even if someone's just on stream and they just enjoy the streams, want to learn, it's free. 100%. Hell no, why I'm bullish. I'm saying if we lose the open and last month's high, you could start to see it push low. I'm not saying it has to. It's like it could, not it should, you know? I'm definitely not. The reason I'm not bearish on this, even though we pulled back to the stop, look at NQ and look at ES. If the indices were going to be more bearish, we would see these try to pull back more. We would see oil rallying a lot more if these are already pulling back. Oil is trying to rally a little bit. You'll want to watch how this reacts to the open here. If it gets back above like 97.12s, it might try for high of day. But just pay attention to ES and NQ. That'll likely guide you through the rest of everything. I'm going to be honest, Sam. I don't know what an IFVG is. I know it's an inverse fair value gap. I just don't know what the parameters of that are. I'm out. See you, Ali. Or Ali. Alanu, that's something I love is a lot of people who sell courses have their entire course on YouTube. You just got to put the videos together. They just put them all together in one package and then sell them. When you said you have a short condition, I thought you meant like 5'4". It's crazy. Tradeovate, I use Tradeovate on most prop firms, and then on Lucid, I use Trade C. Just because I wanted to try Trade C, and I do like Trade C a lot. So those are the two firms that I use. Other channels are as if you put it nicely. Appreciate the kind words. I'm just gonna call you Ty because I don't know Ty Nadu, Ty Nadi. I know I'm botching that. I've botched more names today than I have in my entire career. That's my bad. But I don't love the direct. I don't know Lucid's direct. I know Tradeify's direct. The main reason I don't love it is because the parameters are a lot stricter versus if you took the eval and passed. Like if you go Tradeify straight to funded, you have a 20% consistency. That's very tight. Like you have to micromanage wins or else you're fighting to now make $6,000 to get the payout when you only needed to make 3,000. I think if you're paying that much though, it's worth taking a stab on a few evals and just seeing if it could work that way. And that's just my view on it. Yeah, no, Sam. I'm not talking when I said like if YM broke this, shorts could be a move. I'm talking very, very short term. I'm not talking broader term. I still think the overall market structure, especially on the higher time frames, is more bullish. Like if you look at the 4 hour, unless the YM loses like 49,000, I'm not bearish on this thing. Even then, I wouldn't be like overly bearish, but I'd be leaning slightly more just because we lost a big support. So no, if you're looking at like the 4 hour, I definitely lean up, especially when you're looking at the other indices where you look at ES and NQ up near the highs. I do think there's definitely an opportunity for potentially a long here. And I'll take it on a different eval. So I'll get in 33-ish. I'm going to keep the same stop, wider. Right around literally the gap Sam's talking about. Same target overall. If I lose this, it'll be 2 hour loss. I probably won't be on the stream for the whole trade. I'm going to be honest. I'm probably not going to be on for 4.5 hours. That's just how it's going to go. But I'm going to take the risk off the open. I think it's worth it. Hang on 1 second. I did get in the trade. I'm just adjusting a few things. Someone mentioned earlier funded seat. I'm not interested in it. If it sounds like it's a newer prop firm I don't know about. I don't touch new prop firms. Especially if I have a prop firm where I know pays. I know they have a good back end, right? Like Tradeify and Lucid, I'm going to trade those over that. If the rules are insane, feel free to take advantage of it. I'm personally not the one that does that, but I'm just going to ride with what I know. Not a My Fund or Futures Pro fan. I've traded My Fund or Futures I think once or twice. I just never got into it because I don't want to trade 5 different prop firms. If I need another prop firm, I'll probably look towards like My Fund or Future, Alpha, or E8. But I stick with the 2 that I have. Sleep, brother? I don't need sleep. I'm good. Sleep's for later. Expecting a strong close Friday. I would love a strong close Friday. It makes a lot of sense after the whole week of consolidation. If we don't consolidate tomorrow, I expect a really strong close. Those are my 2 options. If we sell, I'm just wrong. It is what it is. And I'll probably put options risk on. Maybe, Jake. Maybe. Took it off the open. Worst case, lose 2R. Ty, you're saying Top Step's reducing payout size again? They got to quit changing their rules. That don't make no sense. Anyways, if you want to move from Top Step to any of the prop firms listed above, code RAKERRT will give you the biggest discount. Top Step been pulling some bullshit. You think GC 4630 are ambitious, especially if the indices pop to the top? 4630? No, not indicators. I don't care about those. We need to see oil break the open. If it doesn't break the open, I'll take another stop. Gold, it's just this hourly, I don't love. Wait, GC to 4630s. If the indices pop the top, see, this is where it's different though, because gold used to, if NQ was bullish, gold was bullish. It's decoupled completely in the past month, which is wonderful because it gives us another asset to trade. What I would love to see on gold would be this 4-hour close. There's 28 minutes left. It's going to be a really important close. If it closes more bullish than bearish, it'll completely fix this more so hourly failure to go higher. Maybe close up here. Could look decent. It would help the 4-hour. You're holding the overall 4-hour and hourly range here, right? The support around 700. We're still fighting that 720s area from yesterday. You can see how strong of a resistance it is. But we really need it to stop doing this. If it keeps doing this and the hourly gets a weaker close and the 4-hour triggers and closes like that, it wouldn't shock me to see lower. The next support for me would be like 650, 620 on a broader scale. Now, indices might pull back. Might take another one. What's the new payout size going to be? I don't know, personally. Top Step is definitely, like, Top Step's the OG. Yeah, there's some volatility. We're probably going to take a stop. Top Step is 100% an OG in the space. And I don't think they're going anywhere. They're likely just changing the rules to fit more of the overall industry. But it looks bad on them because their rules were different and now they're changing them to be stricter. So that's where it can get tricky. Yeah, Chris, I agree. Most prop firms are the same, just in different ways. 100%. They all have like slightly different rules, but a good majority of them have accounts that are very similar. There's the gold pullback you were kind of looking to start. Yeah, oil's getting more aggressive. I don't like that. I'm immediately assuming this stop's going to get hit, which is what it is. I'll probably be wrapping up stream here too, like soon. We've been going for like an hour or 2.5 hours. Not too shabby. Yeah, Sam, it's more so of just like, when is it gonna? If it does. The thing is, though, with this hourly, the last hourly did fail. I would have rather seen that failure hold and us break back below here. Where now, if we do break above this, it looks a little bit more bullish. And I'd be interested to see how we react over 97.5. But with that being, if it does hold up there in the short term, I would expect the indices to pull back a little bit more. What I would love to see is, I mean, you would need 10 seconds of buying pressure for like a 5-minute fail to go lower. So it's not looking wonderful. 15 still has 10 minutes, which can recover. But there's a chance we see a little bit of a push lower on the next candle. It's just oil fighting this high of day. Time to play some market raiders. Hell yeah, Robert, enjoy. I'm going to give it 5 minutes, see if the stop does hit on this candle. If it doesn't, I'm likely just going to call it a night and then leave the trade open. I would love a Trump tweet in the right direction, though. Whenever I'm in a trade, I feel like Trump tweets in the wrong direction. Except for when I used to long oil. Steve, one, I know you. That shit wasn't accidental. I know you don't accidentally full port oil on an eval. But if you did, not the accidental, but if you full ported, hopefully you got in like right here. Gold just spiked the hourly low. Double bottomed. Didn't spike it. Close enough. See how that holds as well. We would just need oil to break these highs and immediately fail, which could then save this, but I'm once again expecting that stop. That hourly looks crazy. On what time frame? No, Sam, I don't believe it's going to at this point. Oil is strong right now. That hourly is really strong. No matter what, I'm anticipating this to hit. That hits, I'll just call it a night anyway. One tick away. There's no way that saves it. Holy blue balls. $7.10 entry. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's literally just going to be how we react here. We have 22 minutes in the hourly. A lot can change in 22 minutes. How we react here, how this reacts is going to be everything. If that somehow holds, I don't even know. Yep, exactly, Sam. If it fails the highs, it'll be good for the indices in general. If it doesn't, it'll likely break out. The indices will likely see a little bit more pullback, and it is what it is. Bearish on oil. I think I was too earlier in the week, but I think the daily closed a little bit stronger. Main thing for me on oil, and the way you've been talking, you'll probably agree with this. Obviously, I don't know like the ICT concepts, but a lot of times if you're just looking at price action, you're going to see something similar for some reason or another. This kind of area right here, right around like 97s, from this prior daily resistance, I would be shocked if we just ripped through that right away. And something that if you're a pattern trader, I'm not necessarily a pattern trader, but it's something I can see pretty visually here, if you're a head and shoulders kind of guy, it's pretty transparent, right? I'm not a head and shoulders trader. All this means is there's a possibility of a lower high here. It's not confirmed until we break back lower. But if that does set up, it could be a really nice longer term short on oil, which would then, if it pulls back tomorrow, still give this weekly inside bar, lower weekly close with an upper wick. Then you just look for the break and continuation. That's a could happen until it does. Karma, you talking after hours or intraday? Because don't tell me AMD's flying, because if I closed NVIDIA, even though NVIDIA would have been smoked. Holy shit. AMD's at 330. Don't tell me NVIDIA's at like 210. Okay. If NVIDIA doesn't gap up that much, I might throw a little bit of a degen on it. I'm going to be fully honest. I'm going to be fully transparent, not proud, man enough to say it. I might degen a little NVIDIA tomorrow. Just in a big in case. Throw like 200-300 on the risk. And then kumbaya, hope for the best. I looked at INTC. You crying? Were you in? Yeah, that's why I was hoping NVIDIA didn't rip, because I closed my NVIDIA like here-ish. Before it like fully broke down. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but you'll have trades like that. It's at this point, just don't look at the chart, because plus NVIDIA up 10% is insane off INTC's earnings. All right, we'll make a deal. I'll stay on stream a little bit longer, but y'all gotta let me go to the bathroom for 30 seconds. So y'all can stay. You guys want to look at charts without me in it, or do you want to look at the? I'll let you look at charts. Just know I ain't gonna be here. I'm back. Bro's 4 schmuckles away from getting stopped out. We were. How close were we on that? Oh, is my mic on? Yeah. The lows, 94. Our stop is 93. I hope we hold, dude. Just to say we came one tick away from being stopped and somehow it came back to life. It's like the Undertaker sitting up. 4 schmeckles is crazy, though. In my other trade, though, it's going to rip oil. Just did. Yeah, you're saying the rip that oil just did was kind of expected. You wanted it to fail those highs if it's going to fail them. I can see it. We need it to fail aggressively, though, if the longs in the market are going to hold at all. At this point, if we see any pullback on YM, Those 4 schmeckles are gone. We're slamming that stop. You mean the market makers weren't hunting my prop firm stop loss? Well, Alanu, thank you. Appreciate it. Jake's probably going to think I'm crazy because I'm only supposed to be streaming technically for 2 hours. In the last 2 days, I've done 3 hours both. Technically, it's my Friday, though, so why not? Yeah, I did long the YM. What do you mean the other kind of stream? I don't even want to know what you mean. I don't like how oil's reacting. I don't like how gold's weaker, which gold doesn't have that much of an impact, but oil being stronger here, holding this pullback, likely is going to lead to these pushing back a little bit. Coming into the hourly close, hourlies don't look bad, but if they consolidate at all, in full honesty, we need YM up at like 33 for the hourly close for an hourly failure to go lower. It would look a hell of a lot better. 4 hour is going to close an inside bar, which in all honesty, we would either need an aggressive spike above pretty early or a failure to go lower, which would run all the stops. Would you short NQ now? No. If I shorted an index, I would look for the weaker indices, which I'm currently long. So no. Hitting the water with force. Bro, Mitch, you probably know when you talk for 2-3 hours straight, you have to drink a lot or your voice just gets scratchy. Just want your thoughts on taking a payout. I'm eligible for a payout, but looking for a max payout, which would also give me more drawdown. Take it or wait and build more. It's basically like how your payouts normally go. If you have a fear that you're just going to blow the account, I'd say take as much as you can. If you're perfectly fine with having it and you want the buffer, just build the account up. You don't have to take a payout right away once you're able to. And that's the greatest thing about it. Yeah. And that's how I would go about it. If you feel like you desperately need the money or need to take the payout, even if it's a psychological reason, you can take some. But if you want the max, there's nothing wrong with just building it up. Zay, I feel like I know the answer to that, but it's just not coming to my head right now. And I already know it's going to be corny as fuck. Yeah, Ramoy, that's why I just kind of asked how his things usually go. Sorry, I'm a little hoarse. All right, that's fair. Yeah, we have 13 minutes to the hourly close. If oil can push, the lower oil pushes, the better this chart looks for a rejection. Indices are looking strong. Remember, we need YM over 33, which is quite literally 6 points away. It's possible. Damn, I was... All right, Mitch. Cultivating. Have you thought about taking a smaller payout and leaving a little bit more drawdown? Like instead of max, maybe take 1,500. So I mean, it's still solid return on the account. It gives you a payout and you also get more drawdown. I don't always take max payouts from prop firms. I just take what I want to take. Yeah, a lot of good options. Just make sure you're not desperately chasing the max payout. How many dollars per point does YM move? YM minis, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe are 5 per point. $5 per point. Micros are 50 cents. That should be correct. You want to hit a benchmark of paying your mortgage? Well, I mean, the 1,300, I would assume, pays a decent amount of the mortgage. So there's nothing wrong with that. Then worst case, you hit the benchmark next month. The only thing, I just don't want to see you chase that benchmark, lose $500, and now you're just kind of fucked, you know? That's just what I don't want to see. But like I said, it all depends on how you've traded it in the past. With prop firms, for me, it's a game of getting the payouts. And I usually just take, when I can take one, I'll take one, even if it's $500, just to get something out. If I don't have something to pay, what I'll do is just roll that into possibly getting another eval and then trying to get that account funded. Expecting a big push in 10 minutes. Well, Sam, just for you, I'll wait 10 more minutes before I end stream. Oil's still fighting here. Gold, nice little pullback. See if it can hold, get back above the open. I want to see why I'm in 10 minutes over 33. Ideally to like 45, but I don't want to get too greedy. Yeah, NQ and ES are strong. We just need YM to quit being a little bitch and get some buying pressure. Then we're good. Big Austin, hear me out. We go from 4 schmeckles to 50,000. That's a deal I'll take. That would probably be the craziest recovery on a trade that I've had. One tick away to 600 or 570 points. Colroy, my main prop firm trading is this session because that's just what I typically trade here. I'll trade during, it's crazy. I don't trade normally outside of the streams. I'll trade during Jake's stream if I love the setup. During Christian's, I love that trading time. And then during Allen's, there's usually a lot of decent price action, at least for smaller moves. And I'll trade that as well with him. Because Allen's very technical, very sharp, and goes for like the quicker kind of trades. So I'll take those with him all day. I'll probably be on tonight's stream watching Allen. If he catches a trade, I'll likely be in it. Just leverage your house. Right, you got a point. If you just take out a second mortgage on your house, full port it into a 1-to-1 R options trade for 100% or zero. It's either paid off and you got all that money, or you just got to pay an extra mortgage. Easy. Not financial advice. Don't do it. Don't recommend it. I feel like that's the problem with all your debt. Just take out another thing against your debt, and you're either double debt and you're just absolutely screwed, or you're debt free. Simple math. See, trading's easy. Everyone says it's hard. Five-minute holds were golden to the highs. Yep, I agree. Hell yeah, Rye. Well, it's also good for your time zone, right? Because I believe you're on the other side of the world. It does. Dude, the Nasdaq looks so good. I've been sleeping on the Nasdaq way too much, and that's part of my problem. I need to trade it more. Oil's still holding. We got 7 minutes. I'll be on for those 7 minutes. Then I'm likely just getting off at 10. no matter what. You're in Miami? Oh. Why is it horrible on the East Coast? Oh, for Allen Stream? Yeah, it's a little late. For some reason, I always thought you woke up super late. We'll have to see if those 4 schmeckles will hold at the 10 o'clock open. Need a lot of buying pressure in the next 6 minutes. Miami here too. Nice. I think I've been to Miami 3 times. And all 3 times hurt a lot. Miami's a painful place to visit. I'm Western Australia. What time is it for you? Isn't Australia like essentially 12 hours different? So it should be early morning. No, right. I'm talking about all of my internal organs because 2 of the times I went to Miami. No, one of the times I went to Miami was with Jake. And we closed down Live. And when we walked outside, the sun was up. And I just questioned everything. It hurt. And then that was when I met Brett in person. We went to bed at like 8 in the morning and we had to meet Brett in Max Options Trades in Fort Lauderdale at like noon. That was a rough day. And we met him at a bar too. And the last thing I wanted to do was drink. Yeah, I feel like if you live in Miami, you primarily stay away from the nightlife. It's just a lot of tourists that go there. Like I have a buddy that lives down there and he doesn't go anywhere near the nightlife aspect. But every time I visited, it has just been nightlife and it's been brutal. Yeah, I'm just going to give it a few minutes, see how the 10 open reacts for probably like 30 seconds and then call it. Married with kids, one nightlife, fair, valid. To be also fair, there ain't no nightlife out here. Nightlife out here is going to your buddy's garage, watching sports. I can't stay out past 1. Right. If you're 39, you probably hit like 10:30 and you're like, damn, it's getting late out. Chris, that's something I would desperately love. Right now, it's not bad. It's actually like 75 in Ohio. It's just in the middle of winter when I haven't seen the sun in 6 weeks and there's 2 feet of snow outside. All I think about is just being able to go outside and it be 80 degrees. That's the one. Like I love the seasons, but winter just sucks when it's that cold. Yeah, JT, same strategy. I just trade some things a little differently is the main thing. Every single person on this trades like the same foundation, but we add like little principles to different stuff. Like for me with this time frame, the main thing I'm focusing on is overall structure, the open, and then broader pivots. So like daily, weekly, monthly highs and lows. Like you can see on YM here, I have last month's high that we just retested and held. So as long as we hold the open in that area, I like this for longs easily. And then NQ should go up to yesterday's high. I'd be shocked if it didn't. It's 35 points away. If we get there and break, I mean, this chart should scream tomorrow. Especially if AMD is currently up $30 overnight. AMD is not going to have that big of an impact, but I'm sure some other big tech names are up as well. I'm hoping NVIDIA stays a little bit lower, and then it wants to play a game of catch up. We can find some shorter term options Even if it's like Monday or Wednesday expirations, send those a little bit and just play the risk to reward factor there. I think tomorrow can be a really interesting day. I might split a risk trade between coin and then Nvidia. One of them is bound to break. I'm surprised to see any interest in trading the Asia. I love the Asia session. It moves slower. Obviously today, one loss so far. Almost two, somehow held by 4 schmeckles. And if we hold, great. One thing about Asia, you just have to be willing to hold through a lot of shit. No, I love the Asia session. We have Alan at London session. So we have every main session in trading covered. What up, Tay? How you doing? What up, Matthew? Good to see you on. Of course. I always care about how you guys are doing. When you see a flag like on the NQ 5 and 15 charts, do you try to estimate based on how choppy the consolidation is, or what do you look for? A good rule of thumb, I usually like to use it on the higher time frames, like the 4-hour. What I'll do for overall targets, if I don't have like a level or a target to look for, I'll look at the range on the consolidation. Like this is 37 points. Typically, if you see a bigger consolidation break, you can look for that move to the upside. So that would put us just above yesterday's highs, which makes sense. That's where I'll usually like to target, but I'll do that on like the 4-hour for broader term type of trades. I don't love the initial reaction. I'm probably going to give it like 60 seconds, then I'll hop off. If the trade stops, it stops. If not, I'm just going to leave the OCOs on the trade and ride with it. Where's that slur? Matthew, I'm not dropping a slur, brother. I'm not getting canceled week 2 of streams. It ain't happening. Until we get above like 435, the chance of us getting stopped still sits. Below 15s, I would anticipate it to happen. While we're in this little range, is what it is for me. Like I said, if we get above 35, I'm going to be looking at 525. Over that, 49 sevens. Over that, Hail Mary to 50,000 on runners. With that, though, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Oh, we're going to drop. Hold on. Hold this, bro. Yeah, I like the hourly failure and the 4-hour failure. If it can drop and break under 96, I think it has a lot of room down. Agreed. But I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a night, end the stream after a little 3 hours. And I'll personally be back Sunday at 7. Alan will be on 1 a.m. Eastern. But I appreciate y'all staying on. Y'all have a great rest of your night, and I will see you Sunday.